Christopher Nkunku, who scored at Molineux and starts alongside Nicholas Jackson for the first time since pre-season. So they start with Georgia Petrovic in goal, the right back Malagusto, Axel Disasi, Benoit Badiashile and Levi Colwill. A back four, could be a five if Maatsen wants to play at wing back and give some flexibility. Maatsen may well also play on the right side of a three-man attack in front of Gallagher and Caicedo, who will anchor midfield. Maatsen, Jackson and Mudryk behind Christopher Nkunku seems a likely setup. For Crystal Palace, well, rumours circulated that top scorer Odsonne Edouard will be back to make the squad today after missing the Brighton match with a knee issue, but he's not fit. Everyone else, apart from long-term absentees, Ward, Raksaki, Doucouré, Holding and Sam Johnson are available. So just the one change, and it's Will Hughes who drops to the bench for Eberechi Eze, who starts in midfield. Henderson is the goalkeeper, Klein, Anderson, Gay and Mitchell make up the back four. Richards and Lerma will hold, with Eze performing that free role behind the front three of Elise, Ayew and Jean-Philippe Mateta, who scored in two of his last three appearances. We're underway, live on TalkSport 2 in just about 22 minutes.
And Stuart Pearce alongside Sam will go back and speak to Stuart at Stamford Bridge in just a moment. But let's head to the GTEC because Brentford are out of form. Take on Wolves this evening, 7:30, available on the TalkSport app. Commentary of this for us on TalkSport. Here's Ian Abrahams.
And 24 is a magic number for Thomas Frank. Not points, not goals. Days left until Ivan Toney is available to play again for Brentford. It can't come quick enough for them, as you say. Not in great form and with injuries too. They do welcome backs like Neil Mope, who plays, Nathan Collins against the club where he left in the summer, and Igor Yarmouk, who also comes into the side. The three have dropped out. Ben Mee, who is suspended, Janka and also Damsgaard dropped to the bench. So Flecken's in goal. It'll be a back four of Roslev, Collins, Pinnock and Godos. A three in midfield of Norgard, Yarmouk and Janelt, and probably a front three of Lewis Potter and Wissa either side of Neil Mope. Wolves played on Boxing Day. Remember, Brentford have had a 10-day break because their game with Manchester City last weekend was called off. Wolves played, of course, on Christmas Eve and they beat Chelsea. One change, Craig Dawson was injured at Molineux in that one. Santiago Bueno comes in for him. He came on in the second half for him in that game. Sassar is in goal, Kilman, Bueno and Totti Gomez across the back. Semedo, Lemina, João Gomez and Nori are four across midfield, with Hwang and Sarabia just behind Matheus Cunha up front. It's been raining all day in London, Adrian, but thankfully it has now stopped. It's Brentford against Wolves here at the GTEC, and it's live on the TalkSport app.
Yeah, the app is free to download. It's easy to download as well from where you get your apps, and it's so easy to use. You can swipe between TalkSport and TalkSport 2. If it's a game like Brentford Wolves that's only available on the app, then just push the live games tab on the home screen of the TalkSport app and it will navigate you through to the game you need to listen to. It's very, very easy to use, even I can do it. A couple of games have gone in Scotland tonight, in case you don't know. Aberdeen, Motherwell, which is quite a long way to go for Motherwell fans. That went 3 hours ago. Rangers Ross County went 5 hours ago, all because of the storm that has hit the north of the UK. So we'll bring you the rest of the goals as they go in from the Scottish Premiership tonight as well, because the Edinburgh Derby kicks off at 8 as Hibs take on Hearts. But let's go back to Stamford Bridge. Stuart Pearce, former England captain, is watching Chelsea against Crystal Palace for TalkSport 2 tonight. How are you doing, Stuart?
I'm all well. Merry Christmas, big fella.
And to you as well, my friend. I'm excited about watching Chelsea tonight and just seeing how they link up, because we know at their very best, when we've seen them at their very best, Mudryk can be electric and Nkunku can be absolutely world-class. So if they click and suddenly it all starts going well for Chelsea, they could be irresistible.
They certainly can. I mean, I was here, I think, best part of 2 weeks ago now for the Newcastle game, which they looked, for all intents and purposes, they were doing what they could to lose the game, and they've ended up winning it with the last knock-ins and going through in the cup competition. They look to me as though a team that are just not firing at the moment. You know, when you see a team slick passing through the thirds, Chelsea are not that. Every pass is slightly, and I'm not talking about one or two individuals, it's almost the whole team. They pass and they look quite good on the eye, and they're dominating territory and stuff like that. And then when it comes to a final pass, the final weight of that pass, they've just not got it right at the moment, Aidan. I'm thinking if they do nail that, all of a sudden this team just could take off.
They could. At the back's a bit of a problem because Badiashile made the mistake that let Callum Wilson in the Carabao Cup. They got through the tie, but he made the mistake, a big mistake for the goal. He also gifted Wolves the second goal, the goal that sealed it for them on Christmas Eve as well. Thiago Silva's on the bench, so you're surprised to see Badiashile in the starting lineup?
Well, I've got to say, I absolutely ripped him apart in the Newcastle game. I thought he was awful. And I've not seen him play well yet. Every time I've been here live, I've not seen the kid play well. Now, I know he's developing and that type of thing, but the mistakes that he made against Newcastle, costing them the goal, and well, yeah, I'm very surprised. The answer to your question, yes, I'm surprised.
As I said, against Newcastle, he puts the bad into Badiashile. What about Crystal Palace? 1 win in 11, that was at Burnley. And I think that they've got players. When I look at their lineup tonight, when you look at Eze and Elise, they're flair players, I get that. And top scorer Edouard is out, but also the back, I'm a big fan of Gahey, big fan of Anderson as well. It feels like they should be getting better results than they are.
Yeah, they should. When you look at their front four, you wouldn't want to play up against Eze and Elise and Ayew's played very well for them over the last couple of years. He's probably their most consistent player, not their best, but their most consistent for what they want from him, So they've got a strike force as such. Where I think they've suffered a little bit, they've had injuries to key players too often. That's been a big problem for Roy and the club, but they've got some decent players. Mitchell got himself in the England squad not so long ago. Gahey's in there, and I thought he's done very well for England. So you're right in what you say. They've got some decent ones, but both teams, Palace and Chelsea, are in a situation where, to be honest with you, they're quite desperate for 3 points to make their league form and their position look a little bit better than it actually is.
And the flip side of that is, if Chelsea do lose this one, is that when everybody starts sort of wondering about Pochettino and whether it's a good fit at Chelsea?
Well, I think question marks potentially have been asked already, but I think because he's new in, because I think he's got a very good CV, I like him as a man and a manager. For me, you've got to see this season out bare minimum, and you might have to go beyond that and look to go to the next transfer window and say, right, let's see where we are at the moment. There's talk of, we've got young players within the group and that type of thing. They need time to mature. I don't think that you can look to change the manager at Chelsea anytime soon.
Stuart, for the time being, thank you very much. That's Chelsea Palace on TalkSport 2. Kicks off at 7:30 here at Goodison. Everton Man City is an 8:15 kick-off. We've got it live on TalkSport, and we've got the teams with the commentator, Joe Shannon.
Well, Everton would be 10th without their 10-point deduction. They've won 4 of their last 5 and impressed even in defeat at Tottenham last weekend. Sean Dyche has made 2 changes tonight, with the eye-catcher being a first Everton start since May 2022 for Andre Gomes. Once a forgotten man and once beset by injury issues, but a goal scorer last Saturday, and tonight he forces his way into the starting 11. Idrissa Gueye hasn't made it after being substituted due to injury at Spurs, so he isn't in the squad. Beto for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who is on the bench, is the other change. So Pickford is the Everton goalkeeper. Patterson, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mikalenko are the back 4. Gomez, Garner and Onana in midfield. Harrison and McNeil either side of Beto up front. There are 2 changes to the Manchester City side that started the Club World Cup final victory in Saudi Arabia just before Christmas. This is their first league game, by the way, since the 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace on the 16th of December. Rodri significantly is fit to start. He was an injury down before the game, but he is in the starting 11. Manuel Akanji and Mateus Nunes are the 2 to come in for Pep Guardiola. Ruben Dias is unwell. Rico Lewis is on the bench. Still no return for Doku, Haaland or De Bruyne. This is the Manchester City team. Ederson the goalkeeper, Walker, Stones, Akanji and Ake, Nunes, Foden and Rodri, Bernardo Silva and Grealish either side of Alvarez.
Joe, thank you very much. Let's bring back in Lucy Ward on that team news. The first thing I'm going to throw at you is Dominic Calvert-Lewin left out. Beto starting for him. Your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, Calvert-Lewin he struggled with injury. He came back. I think Calvert-Lewin is one of those this new phase of players that has to be absolutely 100% perfectly fit, because he'll have had injuries where he's come back thinking he feels all right, and then he's just broken down again. And I think that means that a player comes out and he's like, well, if I don't feel absolutely perfect, then I don't feel like I can play. And I think that Sean Dyche is not a manager that particularly not tolerates players like that. But I know all he talks about, Dyche, is we need to make sure, we need to look at his lifestyle. We need to look, not his lifestyle, but look at the car he drives, how the stuff that he eats and how he recovers, because obviously he has maybe muscular issues, whatever it is. But a lot of players will tell you they never played fully fit, for years and years and years. But I think that Calvert-Lewin is one of them where he has to feel 100% fit. But he's obviously not scoring as much as everybody would like him to do. But Beto offers something a little bit different. But I think when you've got a player to come in, that helps. It's when you've not got anybody to replace a misfiring striker that you've got a problem.
It's a relief for City that Rodri is in. It was a horror tackle in the World Club Cup final. I thought he was going to be out for some time. Diaz is unwell, but he hasn't been sparkling, not as much as he was last season. Still no Erling Haaland for Manchester City. Could this have a big impact in the title race?
Yeah, perhaps, but I look at Alvarez, and Alvarez is absolutely thriving in that spot, in that 9 spot. And to be honest, he's got similar sort of instincts to Haaland. Obviously, physically he's a different animal altogether. But in terms of his finishing and the runs that he makes in the box, and he sort of plays within the width of the area, unbelievable. I mean, City don't like to play him wide, so he gets a chance when Haaland's not playing. And I do think that in terms of the similarities between him and Haaland, in terms of what they're like in front of goal, I think they're pretty elite, to be honest.
Alvarez, 23 years old, he's won the lots for club and for country. It's absolutely incredible. Starts tonight, Everton against Man City, live on TalkSport, an 8:15 kick-off. Before that, Chelsea Crystal Palace is live on TalkSport 2 at 7:30. Brentford Wolves, live on the TalkSport app, kicks off at 7:30. Listen to Kick-Off on TalkSport with Now. Don't forget that with Now, you can stream the Premier League live without a contract from £11.99. Search Now Sports.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes. So if you've got a plan, we've got a van. That'll be my Amazon delivery. Magnificent goal!
Beautiful football! Brilliant finish!
Amazon delivers the Premier League live tonight from 7. Everton v Manchester City, Chelsea v Crystal Palace, and Brentford v Wolves. Only on Prime.
Y'all ready for something new? Oh, you thought it was just burgers and fries? They got more flavors than you tasted or you heard in your life. Yummy. And it ain't only restaurants anymore. We can go bananas at the grocery store. I'm a bad girl for my takeout. What you need, dude? I could cop a taco. And my sushi train is on loop. When you're this slick, what you gon' do? Did somebody say just eat?
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Get set for the year ahead with a Screwfix winter sale. It's on now and packed with savings on trade essentials. From unmissable low prices on power tools, storage and landscaping, to must-have deals on hand tools and workwear. It's all in the Screwfix winter sale. Shop now on the app at screwfix.com or in-store. Don't miss out. End 7th of January. Screwfix, the choice of champions. While stocks last, visit screwfix.com for delivery charges and restrictions.
Hope there won't be any VAR delays today. Heard that rumour about their striker. Can't wait to see what the pundits make of that booking. Looking forward to the match report on this one. When it comes to football, never miss a story. Get the best news, opinion, interviews and gossip at thesun.co.uk. For the football lowdown every day, it's thesun.co.uk.
Talk about a blast from the past. The 1990s. When McDonald's started using 100% British and Irish beef in our burgers. Back when you actually had to leave the house and head to the arcade if you wanted to play a game with your mates. What a time. It's just one of the little changes McDonald's have been constantly making to the way we source and produce our food over the years. McDonald's. Change a little, change a lot.
The Premier League Live on TalkSport 2 with Now. Stream the Premier League Live without a contract from $11.99. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
NFL Live. The Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings. What a catch! What a throw! Monday from 0100 GMT on TalkSport 2.
Live TalkSport Thursday night Premier League football double bill. Swipe right on the app for Arsenal versus West Ham, kick-off 8:15. Swipe left for Brighton versus Spurs, kick-off 7:30. Or hear it on TalkSport 2. Thursday night Premier League football on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app, and on your smart speaker. Live Premier League on TalkSport 2.
Where it is a very chilly evening. It's been raining, but that's eased off for now. We are, just over 50 minutes away from kick-off here at Goodison Park. It's coming up live on TalkSport. All 10 of these Premier League Boxing Day and beyond fixtures are live and exclusive and only on the TalkSport network. That includes all three this evening, live tonight on the TalkSport app. It's Brentford Wolves kicking off at 7:30 here on TalkSport. It's an 8:15 kick-off as Everton face Man City with Lucy Ward and Joe Shannon on commentary. And on TalkSport 2, it's out-of-form Chelsea against out-of-form Crystal Palace with the commentary team of former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Sam Matterface.
Yes, Adrian, storms ravaging the country. Both these two could be in the eye of a storm. Chelsea's boss said the target was to be at the top this season, but 8 defeats before Christmas blew those hopes away. Palace have also lost 8 in the Premier League and have fallen into a familiar pattern, and they are in danger of getting dragged in. You've heard the team use 5 changes for Chelsea, 1 for Crystal Palace. I'll go through the lineups for you in just a second. But first of all, let's get the latest odds with William Hill.
In the zone on TalkSport 2 with official betting partner William Hill. Get epic value all season with William Hill. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Well, these are the latest odds, all thanks to William Hill. Chelsea to win 4-6, so 6-4 on Crystal Palace, 7-2. The draw is 29-20. These two haven't drawn since 1995. Probably worth thinking about that before you part with your cash. Anytime goal scorer, possibility of Nicholas Jackson hitting the back of the net for the 9th time this season. Well, he's the favourite, 6-4. Christopher Nkunku starts for the first time since his £52 million move from Leipzig, 15-8. Eberechi Eze, who has already got 2 goals this season, but 8 in his last 21 is 19-5. Those are the latest odds with William Hill. Gamble responsibly, 18 plus only. BeGambleAware.org.
In the zone on TalkSport 2 with official betting partner William Hill, giving you the tools for positive play. Take time to think and know your limits. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Palace could go within 1 point of Chelsea with a victory this evening. A 24th competitive defeat of 2023 would be Chelsea's most in a calendar year since 1978, Stuart. And all evening here at Stamford Bridge, they've been playing the hits of 1978. The music was pretty good, even when the football wasn't. But Chelsea can't afford another defeat.
They certainly can't. As I say, I think both teams are in a similar position. 3 points are absolutely vital for both. More so Chelsea with the expectation and the outlay.
Treated to a bit of a light show at Stamford Bridge in southwest London. London's first, London's finest, the pride of London, a huge flag with the old school Chelsea badge away to our right hand side is being held aloft the heads of those that occupy the Matthew Harding end, where Chelsea's loudest and proudest will roar on their team as they enter the playing surface down below us. We're high up in the east stand, and Crystal Palace in a change strip walk alongside the Chelsea contingent into the middle of the park to get ready for the formalities. Chelsea go in search of the dying embers of a bit of Christmas cheer in their last act of what has been a miserable year at Stamford Bridge. For Chelsea, 2023 has been bad. Well, not just bad, but waking up, not knowing where you are, how you got there, and why you aren't wearing the clothes you went out in bad. Yeah, that bad. Only 3 teams across Europe's top 5 leagues have lost more games across the calendar year than Chelsea. And Almeria, Empoli and Werder Bremen didn't spend £1 billion. But if Chelsea 23 has given them one hell of a headache, then Palace are also after their Alka-Seltzer. Roy Hodgson's side are not in top shape. They won a dozen games last winter without a win. And Roy put a brief spring in their step, but it's all a little bit unsteady again. They are now 7 matches without a win. However, when Chelsea need to pick up, Palace often provide it. Win today against the Eagles, and they would have won 12 straight Premier League games against them. How do those hoodoos happen, Stuart Pearce?
Well, listen, sometimes, and you get it quite often, I remember sort of Des Walker saying to me many years ago, Sheffield Wednesday always used to do well against West Ham, and certain teams do well against other teams, and I don't know, it's just the DNA about it at all. But going back to your previously, Wrexham have done a documentary about, you know, their rise. The documentary I want to see is Chelsea's one over the last year.
Chelsea's fall.
Yeah, well, it'll be incredible to be a fly on the wall.
From 2021 to 2023, champions of Europe in Porto in 2021, to being only one of 4 clubs that have lost that many games across Europe.
That is some stat, it really is. It blows your mind when you see the magnitude of it. Sometimes you tick along and you think, well, okay, they're on a run of bad form at this moment in time this season, but when you put it into that perspective, it's incredible.
Everton against Manchester City and Brentford. Wolves are available right now on the TalkSport app. You can download it and you can listen to all the big Premier League commentaries tonight. And then tomorrow night, Stuart and I are off to Arsenal against West Ham United. Live and exclusive to National Radio and only on TalkSport. That's an 8:15 kick-off here on TalkSport 2. We'll bring you Brighton against Tottenham. If you're worrying about where the darts is, don't worry. This game finishes reasonably early tonight, 9:30. We've got full coverage from Ali Pally from 9:30 on TalkSport 2. And John Nicholson will keep you, Paul Nicholson will keep you updated throughout the course of the evening here on TalkSport 2. But we're ready to go in the Premier League. A Boxing Day fixture moved to the day after. Chelsea against Crystal Palace. Live and exclusive and only here. Crystal Palace in a changed strip of white shirts with blue slash from left to right, light blue shorts and light blue socks, attacking the Matthew Harding end. He would have been 60 today, Matthew Harding, and all the players from both clubs take the knee as they ask for racial justice and social inclusion and support the Premier League's No Room for Racism campaign. Chelsea all in blue, attacking the end away to our left. We're underway at Stamford Bridge with Chelsea with Georgia Petrovic in goal, Malagusto playing at right back, Colwell at left back, 2 centre-halves in Disasi and Badiashile, Conor Gallagher and Caicedo in the centre, Maatsen, Jackson and Mudryk behind Nkunku in attack. It might well be that Jackson leads the line and Nkunku just plays off in fairness. Henderson is the Palace goalkeeper, the right back is Klein, it's Anderson, Gay and Mitchell at the back 4, Richardson, Lerma, then Eze further on, Elise and Ayew supporting Mateta in attack. The ball is at the heart of the defence with Joachim Anderson, who is pretty adept at bringing the ball out of the back line and then switching the play, and he's managed to funnel it out towards this right side, and Nathaniel Klein comes on the attack for Crystal Palace. He moves down the right, being marshalled as we speak by Badiashile. He's gone past him with relative ease and produced a cross towards Mateta, who heads the ball down to the edge of the area. It's a bit behind Eze. Eze manages to get beyond Nkunku and spreads it wide, and more space for Klein to get across it. And Mudryk has to come across and block it and put it out on this near side. Here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, really good set-up play there to get the ball out to Klein, and it was Lerma who played an absolutely exquisite pass, just cushioned it with the inside of his foot into the path for Klein, and when the cross come in, it was just snuffed out by Chelsea.
This is TalkSport 2, live on a Wednesday night in a wet, windy and wild evening in southwest London. The rain has come sweeping and swirling in over the stands prior to kick-off. It's just dried up inside, but it's still windy and gusty down at pitch level. It wasn't a great set-up for the throw on this near touchline. They've given the ball back to Chelsea in the left full-back position. And it's 0-0 between Chelsea and Crystal Palace, of which 1 point separate these two teams that languish in the bottom half of the Premier League table. Although Chelsea played quite well at times, especially going forward and creating chances against Newcastle. It took them a long time to score their goal. And home has not been where the heart is in 2023. They've won just 5 of their 21 Premier League matches at Stamford Bridge in this calendar year. Chelsea trying to play out from the back. The press is on over on the far side. Ayew is leading it. Chelsea almost give the ball away through Disasi. Caicedo does give the ball away, and now Ayew has it over on the left-hand side. He's taking on Malagusto, trying to work a little bit of space. Jordan Ayew to get the cross into the box. He's escaped a 3-man press, and then Conor Gallagher has nabbed it in the midpoint of the half and tried to set Jackson away. Former Chelsea employee Mike Gurley has managed to rescue Palace, and they bring it forward, but they're playing with a little bit too much ease for Chelsea's liking at this moment. Crystal Palace, and they want to throw in level with the edge of the penalty area.
Sam, I think Chelsea are too respectful of Crystal Palace. I really do. They're letting them play and almost saying, look, when you give it away, we'll start playing with the ball. But Chelsea started playing with the ball in the poor area of the pitch.
Ball thrown into Mateta, who holds it up well. He's big, strong, physical frame. Then angles the ball, looking to try and find help from Tyreek Mitchell. Gallagher does well to get the ball clear, and then it's pumped out by Disasi out to the wide right and Maatsen. But it was well read by Mark Gay, and he nips in, wins it back for Palace on halfway to stop the potential attack from Maatsen, who was caught up to the Netherlands international squad in the October international break. Elise, who sells Colwell a right dummy and goes out round the outside of him, and then on the inside comes to the edge of the penalty area. He's got back at him now, Colwell. He's all arms and legs, and he was always going to give a free kick there, the referee Michael Salisbury, and he has done now 5 yards from the edge of the penalty area. I mean, Elise had him for breakfast, lunch and dinner there.
Well, Elise's done brilliant there. He's got his back to play on the touchline, and as the ball's come into him on the angle, he's just cushioned it inside, hasn't he? You know what I mean? Let the pace of the ball bounce off his foot, and that was enough to go the other side of Colwell. Really good play there.
And it set up a free kick opportunity for Crystal Palace inside the first 5 minutes of the game, right of centre. And Eze and Elise standing over it. Eze, who's got 2 goals this season. Elise, who has managed 2 goals from his 5 Premier League starts already this campaign, sizing one up. Remember, Elise turned down the chance to join Chelsea in the summer, deciding to stay at Crystal Palace and sign a long-term contract. Eze steps up, addresses the ball, goes round the bottom of the wall on the outside. It hits the side netting. There's a few Crystal Palace fans who made the journey from Selhurst Park up through the middle of the London, who thought that might well have nestled in the bottom corner. It didn't hit the side netting, and the Chelsea fans have their first moment of levity in the game.
Yeah, it didn't get enough curl on it, to be honest with you. And the way the wall was lined up, he probably had to move it to Elise and then come and take it on the blind side.
Gallagher picks the ball up after Nkunku failed to hold it up. It's played through to Jackson, who now has a chance to turn. He's got Nkunku to his left and Mudryk further on. Nkunku foods Mudryk, the Ukrainian with blonde hair, is on the left side of the area. He's spotted the run of Malagusto joining the attack. Chelsea again have decided not to shoot, not to create a chance, to go backwards instead. And now Gusto has it on the right angle of the penalty area. Gallagher out wide to Maatsen. Maatsen back to Gallagher. Too intricate maybe from Chelsea, who needed to pull the trigger a little bit earlier. They've got the ball down the right-hand side, and the back heel from Gusto, he didn't even look before he played that. He's given it straight to Tyreek Mitchell, and they brought the ball away.
In all honesty, I've got absolutely no idea why he's back-heeled it where he has on that area of the pitch. It literally, as you mentioned, didn't look at all and just back-heeled it in the hope someone might be there. But I think Chelsea are in transition as a team at the moment that want to play when they've got the ball, but not a particularly difficult team to play against. They let you have the ball and give you space.
Well, this calendar year has been the worst year in SW6 since Freddie Starr ate my hamster, the GLC was abolished, the ZX Spectrum was a big Christmas gift, the first All-Merseyside FA Cup final, and Reed Petite by Jackie Wilson was the Christmas #1. What year was that? Here's Ayew over on the far side. Let it germinate. Here's Ayew over on the far side, looking to conspire with Tyreek Mitchell. It's off Maatsen and bounces back to Mitchell, left edge of the penalty area as Palace come forward again. Maatsen does well to try and push Ayew further away from danger, and then Nkunku wasn't really aggressive enough with his press, and then it's hit from distance by Anderson. It must have been about 35 yards, and straight down the throat of the Serb goalkeeper, Đorđe Petrovic.
I'm going to tell you that we're in and around the 78 mark there for Freddie Starr eating hamsters, I think.
No,
What was it?
wildly out. Not wildly out. Rick Petit, the first All Merseyside FA Cup final. I should have given it away for you.
85.
86. So close. Yeah, Chelsea's worst calendar year for losses, for number of wins, the fewest number of wins, the fewest number of goals since 1986. Here, over on this right-hand side, Palace are on the chase once again. Oh, a slip by Badiashile has allowed Elise to get clear. Mudrik's done well to get back to stop it. It bounces to the right-hand side. Elise is being challenged by Caicedo. They won it back, Chelsea, just about. And then it's picked up by Colwell, who finds Gallagher, who's played into all sorts of trouble by Caicedo. And Chelsea were lucky to get a free kick there from Michael Salisbury. What's Badiashile doing, coming out in towards the left-hand side, slipping over and completely missing the ball?
Well, I mean, the ball's gone out wide, and Elise is chasing it out to the touchline, and Badiashile has got after him, and I thought, well done, son, you're getting there quickly to stop him turning. But he's got there so quick, he's never given himself a chance to slow down and keep the player pinned to the touchline, and just fell over.
It's like a steam train that missed its stop. Here is Mudryk bringing the ball and playing it forward and looking for Maatsen, who's in behind and past the goalkeeper, but Mitchell will get back and clear off the line. And why did Jackson not follow through and try and put that inside the 6-yard box? Because Maatsen was sent through brilliantly by Mudryk. He went racing clear to the edge of the penalty area. He just about fumbled it past the goalkeeper. It was dribbling towards the line, but Jackson slowed up. Mitchell accelerated and cleared off the line.
Yeah, Mitchell doing exactly what a good fullback or defender should do. His goalkeeper had committed himself and got sort of lost in no man's land, really.
Good chance for Maatsen, who didn't have the finish, but he did almost create an opportunity for Jackson to finish it off. Let's go to Paul Nicholson at Ali Pally for an update on the darts.
Thank you, Sam. Yes, it's 2-0 in sets to Luke Littler. The 16-year-old child is playing against Canada's best player, and he's won 2 straight sets at the start of this last 32 match. And the last thing to say, Sam, is that he's won every single leg. He is for real, and he's 2 sets to the good.
It's scary. I said to Sean Price earlier on today when I was covering for Jim White on TalkSport 10 till 1, I said, could you just go and check his passport, please? Because I'm not sure he don't look 16, and he certainly doesn't play darts like a 16-year-old. What a fantastic story developing at Ali Pally. We'll keep you updated throughout the course of the afternoon. There's live commentary from 9:30. Commentary on Everton against Manchester City is over on TalkSport from 8:15 tonight. There are games elsewhere in the Scottish Premiership, and those games, some of them not starting to a little bit later. Livingston St Johnstone 7:45, the same with St Mirren Kilmarnock, and Hibs against Hearts, the big Edinburgh derby, is at 8 o'clock tonight. We'll keep you in touch with that one. It's currently Brentford 0, Wolves 0 down at the G-Tech. That's available on the TalkSport app. You're up to date, and you're listening to TalkSport. Sam Manaface and Stuart Pearce live at Stamford Bridge. 10 minutes played, and Chelsea have had a half-decent chance, but didn't take it. But Crystal Palace have almost dominated most of the ball in the early exchanges. Most of the play has been in the Chelsea half of the field. Ball has been sent long, down the left. 0-0 between Chelsea and Crystal Palace live on TalkSport 2. Klein helps it away from the right full-back position. Jackson just about brings it down. Chelsea, who haven't had much of the ball inside Palace territory, occupy that position on the field at this moment in time. Down the left with Mudryk, then into Gallagher, who turns, hesitates, looks for an outlet, then swishes the ball out towards the far side. It's too high for Malagusto, and it goes out of play on the far side. Chelsea have had the best chance of the game, Stuart Pearce, when Ian Maatsen was played in by Mudryk, but it was cleared off the line by Tyreek Mitchell.
Yeah, they certainly had the best chance of the game, and Chelsea, because they're littered with talented players and individuals, but Palace look like the side that have got a better game plan, better shape, better passing lines to their team, I would say.
Yeah, they've started very confidently, and we've got full commentary over on TalkSport 2 tonight as a back pass is played by Colwell, which causes his goalkeeper real grief. We've played just over 12 minutes. It's Chelsea 0, Palace 0. Here's Eze coming towards the edge of the penalty area, weaves his way inside the box, takes on Caicedo, then runs into Gusto. Gusto gets it back to Caicedo, who's still in the middle of a conversation complaining about why Eze wasn't picked up in the first place, and he's still having a word with Petrovic for not coming to deal with the ball initially.
Well, Chelsea have just played a back pass to the goalkeeper that was so firm it was ridiculous, and it's put the goalkeeper chasing the ball into a corner flag area to field it, and that is symptomatic of where they are at this moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, they've had the best chance, but they have definitely not been the better team of the two so far. There's a little bit more cohesiveness about Crystal Palace, more structure about them. They look more of a together team than Chelsea, have made again 5 changes today. Here is Mudryk stretching to receive Jackson's pass, just short of halfway, wide on the Chelsea left, and Kunku comes to receive. Good control by him, and then plays it back to Levi Colwell. Kunku, lots of hopes resting on his shoulders, maybe a little bit too much resting on his shoulders to add the spark in behind Jackson and the ability to finish some of those chances that Chelsea haven't been finishing. He's only played twice, and that was a lovely little Cruyff turn by Malagusto to get them away, and there's space on this near side for Nkunku, and a slip by Klein allows him to receive it. He tried to put it through, he's giving it back to Gusto, left side of the box, into Mudryk, he taps it in on the edge of the 6-yard box. He stands with his arms spread wide, and he takes in the applause. A goal created by Gusto and gobbled up by Mudryk. Chelsea take the lead just 13 minutes into the game. Terrific move. Malagusto involved, taking it from right to left. There was a little bit of fortune after a slip from Klein, but Nkunku also poking it back down the left. Found Gusto, who centred and waited inside the 6-yard box with the Ukrainian for his second goal in a week.
Yeah, as I say, it was a ball that was, I think, meant for Mudryk, and it's missed him, it's gone behind him, and Klein, as he's gone to readjust his position, lost his footing, and that enabled the ball to go out wide for Chelsea, just to slot the ball across, and Mudryk, simplest of tasks, to knock it in the back of the net.
13 minutes gone, Chelsea 1, Palace 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers lead in their game against Brentford by goal to 0. That's on the Talk Sport app. That one has just gone in the last few seconds. So Wolves have taken the lead through Lamina. A second goal in 2 games for Lamina, scored against Chelsea on Christmas Eve. He's had a very good festive period for Gary O'Neill's team, and it's 1-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers. That on the Talk Sport app. Toby Gillies commentating this evening. Chelsea in front with their second real attack of the night, Stuart. And actually, there was a bit of fortune about it, but the idea behind it was quite well crafted.
Well, what they've got, Sam, they've got talented individuals and decent pace in the team that, if they do get it right, they're a real threat and will go through on goal and create a chance. But in this game already, we've seen them give the ball away in cheap areas in their final third.
Anderson just stretching because Jackson threatened to get in behind him. He's giving it back to Jackson left side, and Jackson still got hold of the ball, and then Anderson has ended up giving away a free kick which he feels is a soft award. He's not happy about it, and it's given to Mudryk to take on this left-hand side as Chelsea look at it just outside the penalty area. 1-0 to Chelsea, 15 minutes gone. That was a little bit soft, wasn't it?
It was very soft, as I say. Anderson's dealt with a problem, then he's turned the wrong way, then Jackson's got the ball, then Jackson's fell over going backwards, and in the end the referee said, well, I need to sort it out for this pair of players because they can't solve it themselves.
I'll just make a call. Hwang Hee-chan has scored a second goal for Wolves. They lead Brentford 2-0 on the TalkSport app. Another goal for him this season. He's had a really good goal-scoring campaign. Gallagher to take it, left side. He's got Maatsen with him, but it's going to be Gallagher who hits it right-footed, right into the meat of the 6-yard box, and it came off the head of Nkunku and goes high into the air and into the shed end away to our left-hand side. He arrived and he got right underneath it and propelled it high up into the air. Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 0 on TalkSport 2 with Now. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Premier League live without a contract from $11.99. Search Now Sports.
Yeah. Palace just looking to play out from the back here, and Chelsea just trying to get a press on, but not fully committing to it.
Yeah, it's a bit like one of those trouser presses that you have in the hotel rooms. They don't really do the job properly. You can't get your creases properly ironed in them, can you? It's always an issue, that.
But you could always warm your naan breads up in them, you know what I mean?
Yes, and that they're pretty useful for. I hate those trouser presses. Here's Eze over on the far side. Talking of going back to the 70s. Over on the far side. Yeah, we've got a very sort of retro vibe tonight. Here is Colwell down the left-hand side, finding Mudryk, who's deep inside his own half, challenged by Jefferson Lerma, and Palace have it back again. right side. Brentford have got one back. It's 2-1 in the goal fest at the G-Tech Stadium. Lerma turning under pressure from Gallagher, sends it square. Mitchell comes into midfield. Eze with a lovely turn, but then he bamboozled himself. Gallagher won it, and Nkunku's coming away, and now Jackson has got the ball back from Nkunku, and he's just played the ball at a complete wrong angle, and Nkunku was never going to get that, and now Palace have been given it back again. Here on the near side, Elise taking on Colwell. He's got the beating of him again. Delivers the ball to the far post. It's hooked away by Malagusto, and Chelsea managed to get it up over the halfway line.
Well, firstly, Jackson, not sure what he's doing. He's one-on-one with the whole of the half to run into and take Gay on. Never fancied his chances. And Elise on this side is certainly causing Colwell big problems.
Anderson goes beyond Nkunku and runs into the Chelsea midfield. He goes almost down the left channel, the big tall centre half, before he's fouled by Nkunku, and a free kick is given to the visitors, Crystal Palace, just left of centre. And this is around about 30 yards from goal, 33 yards from goal, and Eze's standing over it once again. Livingston, St Johnstone, St Mirren, Kilmarnock all underway. Here, Chelsea leading by a goal to nil thanks to Mikhailo Mudryk, his 6th goal of the season, and he scored the goal that took them to penalties just a week ago against Newcastle United, and he scored the goal that's opened the scoring here. Here's Eze's free kick, deep towards the far post, floated away by Disasi, giving it back to Anderson, who puts it back in the mixer. It comes on the edge of the box for Lerma, who tees up Klein, and then it goes back out wide towards the right. Elise towards Mateta at the far post, who stabs it goalwards, and then Badiashile from inside the 6-yard box, able to clear, but the offside flag was up anyway. From the initial free kick, I thought Chelsea could have just left it and let it go out of play.
Well, they had 3 or 4 players in the drop zone and no Palace player anywhere near them, but as I know through experience, it's really difficult to leave a ball there unless your goalie's coming to claim it and you get a solid shout. Normally, if it's on your head, clear it. But what they didn't do, Sam, they didn't clear the danger zone in any way.
No, and gave the ball back to Anderson right inside the box, who almost crafted a chance for Crystal Palace. 1-0 to Chelsea, and this is TalkSport, and Chelsea are pretty good front runners. They need to win today to go into the top half. Bournemouth leapt above them yesterday in the Premier League table, and they do create chances. They had plenty of them on Sunday against Wolves, but they've missed more big chances than any other Premier League side this season. 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes gone, sorry, not to go. We've got quite a few more minutes than 20.
I'll tell you what, there's encouragement here for Palace, certainly on the press, you know. Chelsea, they gamble with the ball a little bit, they pass it, they like to keep it nice and tight.
Colwell through the legs of Elise, bursts through into the other half of the field. He's got Jackson to his left and Mudryk, who's just held his run. He plays it square to Nkunku instead. It's caught under his feet. He turns it back wide right. It took too long and dawdled on the ball, and it was challenged by Richards when Ransom was available over on the far side. It probably would have been the better ball. But again, Chelsea getting up towards the edge of the Palace penalty area, just not precise or maybe quick enough with the release of the ball, because Mudryk had made quite a good run actually, but by the time they even thought about giving him it, it's straight offside.
Yeah, it's the right pass at the right time, and it's just missing slightly, you know, with Chelsea's performances of recent times.
Gusto down the right, looking for Gallagher, who's attacking Eze, who comes out towards him. Those two in an England squad together recently. Caicedo midway inside the Palace half of the field, plays the ball again, just slightly off radar, and I can't work out whether that's because Jackson dropped when he didn't need to, or Caicedo just completely missed the pass. Chelsea continue despite Mateta going down and wanting a free kick. Play on, says the referee. Chelsea haven't taken advantage here, and Mateta's back to his feet anyway, so he wasn't injured. Gallagher has it just right to the centre circle. Malagusto takes it on, as in engaged by Ayew and has to swirl away, gives it back to the captain, and then Disasi has it just right to the centre circle. He's played almost every game this season, Axel Disasi, either at centre half or at right back. Ball played up to Mudryk, the goal scorer. Into Caicedo. He's got Jackson making a run down the left channel. He could return this to Mudryk, who's in the box. He could punch the goalkeeper, who comes out and makes a really big save. Dean Henderson made himself big as Mudryk thought he was going to poke it behind him for a second goal. He was so close to doing so, but that was a super save from Dean Henderson, who had a patchy evening against Brighton last Thursday night, but has made a huge stop here.
Yeah, he certainly has. In that occasion, Chelsea played an extremely clever back heel, and Mudryk was in like a shot, but the goalkeeper equally, Henderson off his line, spreading his body and done just enough to keep it out. We have sort of patches of, 10 minutes of good play by Palace, and then a good chance by Chelsea, and then a good patch again by Palace. It's the format of the game.
Well, that's all right. A bit of entertainment, it's good for the neutral, isn't it? Or even if you're not a neutral, I hope you're enjoying it on TalkSport 2. Tonight we've got at 8:15 Everton against Manchester City, and also available on our app. And we've got Brentford Wolves, which has already seen 3 goals. And Wolves leading by 2 goals to 1 there. The dance is upcoming at 9:30 here on TalkSport 2, live from Ali Pally. We'll keep you across all the action as well. We'll keep going off to Paul Nicholson, who's there for us throughout the course of the evening. Here we won't let you miss anything. Of course, for all the commentary right up until the World Dance Championship final later in the week here in TalkSport 2. And lots of live commentaries to come as well over the next few days. Tomorrow night, Arsenal, West Ham and Brighton, Tottenham. Friday night, Championship action at the top of the table on TalkSport, TalkSport 2. Saturday, we're with Chelsea again actually. We're going to Luton on Saturday. And then on Monday night, next week, New Year's Day, we're having a bit of a shindig, aren't we? We're going to Liverpool against Newcastle.
We certainly are, yeah.
Looking forward to that one. Here is Mateta, dispossessed on the edge of the Chelsea penalty area, the right side, by Gallagher, back from Gusto to Petrovic, who lollops the ball up towards Jackson. Jackson unconventionally manages to just keep the ball for Chelsea just momentarily, but it was always difficult to control that. And then Anderson was fouled by a combination of Nkunku and Jackson, and it's going to be a free kick on the edge of the centre circle inside Palace territory. 1-0 Chelsea.
I think from Palace's point of view, they'll be reasonably happy with the run of play, and unless they're on this side of the pitch, has been really good, I think, in the main, causing a problem to Colwill. But Chelsea, every now and then, they just say, look, don't underestimate us, and go through the field and breach the back line of Palace.
Well, Palace are not in great form, but they're organised, they're disciplined, they look like a team that's been well coached. The issue they've had is that they've played well in patches in some of the recent games, but they've taken just 3 points in the last 21. Here's Jackson down the left side, into the box, low ball through the 6-yard area, drags it right through the box. I always thought the offside flag was about to go up, and it has.
I'll tell you what, you could almost cry for Jackson, can't you? He's pulled his foot back to shoot, and he's got it so wrong, it's incredible.
What was that toy that you used to have when you were a kid? Was it Action Jackson? Was that it? Action Jackson? Did you have one of those? He's like semi-Action Jackson, isn't he? he sort of half does the stuff you want him to do, but not all of it.
Yeah, indeed. He excites you, then sits you down on your seat again.
A faulty Action Jackson. He's only young, to be fair to him. It's worth pointing out that he's still a kid, really. He only played half a season at Villarreal before Chelsea took him, because he'd had an injury for most of that campaign, but he's got a lot of goals in the last few months of the season, and he's already got 8 for Chelsea this campaign. Here is Ayew over on the left-hand side, moving up towards the edge of the penalty area, goes on the outside of Gusto, then tries to pull the ball from the box, but Gusto did well to block it. It goes back out wide to Mitchell, who's crossed into the areas aimed at Elise. It's away by Chelsea, and then Klein can't pick up the loose ball. And it's cleared up to the halfway line, and Jackson might be in behind, and Anderson's made a meal of that. And Jackson's getting away from him and holding him off, and he's done well. He could feed Nkunku. He does, inside the area, goes to take it on. Feels he was brought down by Chris Richards, turns and looks at the referee, and I can't work out whether he was brought down or his legs just gave way underneath him.
I think he's nicked his foot, you know that one where you pull your foot back and go for a swing, and obviously he's standing on the floor at the moment just to emphasise the point he was caught. I think this will be called back, potentially as a penalty, but it's got to go back. Anderson, I'm not sure what he was doing there, really poor defending by him.
Yeah, well, I think Anderson looks as if he sort of overindulged on the Christmas pudding and the turkey and stuffing. He might have had 1 or 2 many Yorkshires, because he just didn't seem to be up to the pace. There's a couple of times he's been uncharacteristically ruffled, I think. And he certainly was there with Jackson, and It's all the way back to the goalkeeper Petrovic, and he will clear. No referee review, so we continue. Are you surprised by that? We haven't seen a replay of it, by the way. But the one thing about Chelsea, where we are, is we've got monitors galore, but no replays.
Yeah, surprised, well, put it this way, it was either a very bad miss, an extremely good tackle, or the VAR have missed something.
The VAR, by the way, today is Chris Kavanagh. Referee Michael Salisbury. Ayew trying to steam forward. Caicedo stood in his way, blocked him initially, held him up for a couple of seconds, and then Ayew got up and ran away with the ball on the halfway line, just down the left side. Collected by Gay, and then it goes back into Anderson, and he clips a beautiful ball out to the right side, but Elise was offside. And it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. Let's go back to Paul Nicholson as Alexander Palace.
Thank you, Sam. We have a bit of a game on our hands all of a sudden in set number 3, and it was very, very competitive. Matt Campbell missed 5 set darts in 2 different legs to take set number 3, but Luke Littler edged it to take a 3-0 lead. But after that, it was Littler that missed a match dart at the bullseye, and then it was 120 checkout for Campbell to stay in the match. So it currently stands at Littler 3, Campbell 1 in a quest to get to 4 sets.
Well, we've just had our first real look on the monitor at Christopher Nkunku going through the middle of the pitch and then going down like Bambi, and he did just miss the ball and collapse. That's what it looks like from the replay that we've seen.
Chelsea have had 3 good chances now, haven't they? You know, 1 they've scored, and 2 they've gone through with the goalkeeper to beat, and contrived not to score 2 of them, probably the easier 2.
Well, it's still 1-0. You're listening to TalkSport. Ball picked up by Matessu, runs to the edge of the penalty area, gets inside the box, tries to lay it off towards Eze. It cannons off a Chelsea defender, goes down the left side of the area, and then before Ayew can get there, it's picked up by Gallagher, and he manages to get it clear. Wolves have gone 3-1 up away at Brentford. And Gallagher has just been penalised for a foul over on the far side. He thought he'd escaped with the ball after doing all the hard work, but allegedly, according to the referee, he was a little bit too physical with Jordan Ayew, and he's given away a free kick 5 yards short of the penalty area, wide on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Chelsea just got caught there, give possession away, probably about 35 metres out from their goal. They pass it, and if you stop play at any given time and ask the players, what are you passing it round? What's the game plan? Where are you looking to expose? What area of the pitch? I think they'd all look at you blankly and say, oh, we're not doing that, we're just playing it to each other to run the clock down a little bit, and that's how it looks.
15 minutes to go before half-time. Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Brentford 1 at the G-Tech, and Hwang has scored again. Here's the free kick then, wide over on the far side. Eze into the box, delivering it towards Anderson, but Colwell got there first and nudged it out towards this near side, the left. Gallagher got hold of it, took it wide, then sent it clear, and Jackson held on to it. Now he turns, and Mudryk is off, and he's running in behind. Is he going to get there ahead of Mitchell? He does. Mitchell comes across and manages just to get in front of his body and nudge it behind and away for a corner kick. But another good run for Mudryk down the left-hand side, who's shown a bit of turn and pace on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, he's just getting in this area, sort of, Anderson was up for the corner, but the area Anderson would normally be, that sort of inside left area. There was a good counter-attack on that occasion.
I'm cracking up that of your analysis of Chelsea's patterns of play, bearing in mind how much they've spent to acquire these individuals and the coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, what you've got, it does take a while to develop a style of play. Also, as well, you've got to understand, some of these players are very young players, so they're still immature in their own mind about what is needed in the game at times.
Here's the corner to be taken by Conor Gallagher, who sent it into the near post, and it's, nudged away rather easily. It was a poor delivery at the near post by Jordan Ayew, and it's out for a throw-in on this near side. Chelsea leading by a goal to nil. Mudryk with a goal after 13 minutes. And for the latest odds, you can head to William Hill, the official betting partner of TalkSport 2's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Chelsea to win at 10-3 on, Palace to win 17-2, the draw is 18-5, and that's all thanks to William Hill. Get epic value all season with William Hill, 18+, begambleaware.org.
Strange, I've not seen Roy Hodgson in the technical area at any given time during this game, which is very unlike him.
Well, Paddy McCarthy is out there, and so is Maurizio Pochettino, As we welcome listeners from Talk Sport, where it's Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 0. The goal coming for Mykhailo Mudryk after 13 minutes, after a brilliant turn on halfway by Malo Gusto. He opened up the pitch, combined with Nkunku, got a little bit fortunate, got the ball back and squared it from the left side of the box into the middle for Mudryk to score, and that put Chelsea in front. Since then, Chelsea have had another golden opportunity where Christopher Nkunku went through one-on-one with the goalkeeper, went to shoot and collapsed in a heap after air kicking the ball in what can only be described as a traditional Chelsea fashion, I think, because it seems to be catching.
Well, as I say, they've created 3 very good chances within the game, Chelsea, but for the rest of the game, I would say Palace look like the side that look more forceful, probably had more territory within the game.
Your argument is Chelsea are playing off the cuff?
I think so. That's what I'm seeing. You know, and I saw it a couple of weeks ago against Newcastle as well. They're effective because they're talented players, but it is off the cuff with not much of a plan when they're playing out through the back, and so they put the ball under threat.
Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 0. Commentary continues on Talk Sport 2. This is Badiashile, just on the edge of the 18-yard box as Chelsea look to bring the ball up through to Nkunku. Good turn and pass out towards the far side. Malo Gusto trying to keep it in, succeeding to do so. Manson joining the attack. Left-footed shot towards the far corner, took a little deflection. It will go wide and he'll go out for another corner to Chelsea away to our left-hand side.
Much better play there by Chelsea. You could see exactly what was going. Ball into midfield, set back, the diagonal switch, very good. And Gusto playing it inside, and an effort just got blocked. Really slick play by Chelsea that time.
Jordi Petrovic is right up on the halfway line here as he watches his team take a corner. He's taking a couple of steps back now. He's on the cusp of the centre circle. Mudryk's delivering into the box. It's headed away by Mateta. Gallagher brings it down 10 yards from the edge of the box. Wide left is Mudryk again to cross. He does into the penalty spot, and it's away by Anderson and out towards this near side. And Chelsea look to try and build, but can't do so. Eze looking to escape, can't find Ayew, and Chelsea have it back on halfway, leading by a goal to nil. Wolves leading Brentford by 3 goals to 1. They're the latest scorelines in the Premier League tonight. And we'll keep you updated with the darts. And Gallagher under pressure, didn't have an option and then lost the ball, and Mateta's got it and he's charged forward. Play on, says the referee after a foul by Gallagher. They played the advantage. Eze turning into a bit of space and then turning again, going halfway around the world and back again before he pushes the ball out wide towards the left. Ayew takes it, gives it infield to Mitchell. Mitchell sends it back to halfway, and Gurhey helps it all the way back to Dean Henderson.
And once again, Casado just shoved the ball at Conor Gallagher, really. No sympathy on the ball whatsoever. He was shut down before the ball even arrived.
It's Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 0 on Talk Sport 2, and the ball is picked up right side. For Chelsea, chasing was Matson, but Gay is asking for Mitchell just to play the ball at a greater speed and tempo. It's launched over the top for Klein to chase. Petrovic has come out here into the left fullback position. He's cleared it out into the first few rows of the east stand, where we are, high up towards the back in the rafters, underneath the camera gantries, and alongside all of the gizmos and gadgets. Usually, sometimes it's quite hard to squeeze onto this gantry, but tonight we're not as popular, are we? We've got a whole row to ourselves here tonight, which is quite nice. Here's Mateta trying to turn, looking to try and bring Jefferson Lerma into play. He does that. He's wrapped at Elise, and somehow he controlled it. I don't know how, but he did. He stuck to him like glue, and he's managed to keep Palace in possession down his right-hand side. But Lerma has then gone into an offside position, and a free kick has been given to Chelsea. Those last 7 games that Palace have taken just 3 points from, and not exactly the toughest games. I mean, they played Liverpool, Manchester City, but they've also played Brighton, Everton, Luton, West Ham, Bournemouth. And unfortunately, I think they've run into all of those teams if they've just crept into a bit of form. And Palace have certainly dropped off in terms of form. They're on their longest run in the Premier League without a win. They haven't won since the 4th of November.
Pochettino's just come out of his technical area by about 20 metres, screaming at Badiashile to go and take a free kick. And
then apologised to the fourth official because he knows that it was wrong of him to do so. But I got the sense from him when the press conference the other day, actually, he's just getting a little bit irritated by one or two of the players that don't appear to be on the same wavelength as he. He had a bit of a moan up about the fact that he kept getting calls from agents saying that his players were disappointed they weren't playing. And he was referring to Lavia and Nkunku, and he was saying, well, I've been disappointed they haven't played half the season because they've been injured, and helping the club as well. And he said, actually, I'm sorry, I think I'm probably talking too much here, but I'm just getting a little bit irritated by it.
You can understand that. I mean, his body language down there, he's frustrated with his team that they're not getting it forward, they're not looking forward, they're playing each other into trouble on occasion.
Maatsen didn't release it quickly, back to Gusto after getting into an advanced position on the right, and has given the ball back to Crystal Palace. There's 8 minutes to go before half-time, and you are listening to Talk Sport 2. And Chelsea, who had got themselves in front, had several opportunities to further their lead, but haven't taken it, have managed to just cope with Palace's possession game, and they have had quite a bit of the ball, Crystal Palace, in the opening 38 minutes of the match. They've had 37% of it. It actually feels a little bit more than that. I think maybe purposeful possession they've had more of.
Yeah, they certainly have. I mean, Palace have got the best player on the pitch in Elise. He's been, for me, outstanding, because everything that he's done has been the correct movement. The ball gets played into him firmly, he cushions it nicely.
Oh, his touch was brilliant for that,
You know, he's put Colwell on the back foot on a couple of occasions. He is a talent, this boy.
Yeah, he certainly is, and Chelsea tried to prize him away from Selhurst Park in the summer transfer window. They weren't able to do that, and he resisted the lure of a move to this part of the capital.
I think Palace are short of a centre forward, to be honest with you. You know, Mateta is a little bit slow on getting back to an onside position on too many occasions for me.
Yeah, well, they're missing Odsonne Edouard tonight. 6 goals in 15 Premier League games. That's his best tally ever in the Premier League. He's unavailable because of a knee injury this evening. And there were sort of rumours that he might be back tonight, but it didn't work out that way. Ball up to Maatsen on the right side for Chelsea. Disasi sends it back instead of forwards, and then Gallagher goes to receive the ball deep and then charges up the field, running diagonally from right to left, out wide to this near touchline where Colwell's waiting for it, back into Gallagher, short of the halfway line. Jackson drops, the ball's played forward, and Nkunku was in an offside position, and as it was played down the left for Mudryk, he had to chase, and out came Henderson to receive it. You're listening to Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 0 on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes, so if you've got a plan, they've got a van. Let's go off to the Alexandra Palace and the World Darts. Here's Paul Nicholson.
Thank you, Sam. It's all over in our first game of the night. Luke Littler has won in 5 sets, 4 sets to 1, 97.19 the average, 8 maximums and 40% on the doubles. It was very impressive at the start. He tailed off a little bit and was tested, but still had enough in the tank and won the last set comfortably with a 1-6-4 checkout to start that one as well. Littler's dream is still alive. He's in the last 16 of Ali Pali.
TalkSport 2, thank you very much. We've got commentary on the darts at 9:30 tonight at the conclusion of this game. We're 5 minutes away from half-time. It was an early kick-off here tonight, 7:30. Here's Ayew over on the far side, the left, cutting in for Crystal Palace. He's robbed by a combination of Gusto and Gallagher, and Chelsea come forward and urge to get the ball forward quickly. And Nkunku takes it down the left. He's got Jackson who's come too close to him, didn't need to occupy that space. And as a result, it slowed the Chelsea attack. The two of them doing their best to try and give the ball away, and then Jefferson Lerma gets a little bit frustrated and kicks Nkunku up in the air and gives away a free kick. There was a moment just before that, whilst we were away at the darts, when Jackson got himself into a relatively good position, just made a very odd decision.
Well, they must be working on this in training a little bit. Blind back heels, you know what I mean? In the hope that someone actually wanders onto the ball in the same colour shirt as yourself.
What you've got to hope is that they don't ever get involved in multiple choice quizzes, because they're definitely going to give you the wrong answer, aren't they?
Well, they've certainly. We've had 1 correct back heel and 2 horrendously poor ones.
Here is Gallagher and Maatsen standing over the ball down the left side, midway inside the Palace half of the field. It's whipped in towards Disasi. Him and Colwell didn't know who was taking charge of it. In the end, neither of them did. It's scooted under the boot of Disasi and flicks behind and away for a goal kick away to our left.
Do you know the worst job in football at this moment in time? Being the analysis person for Chelsea that's got to debrief the performances. because it's so difficult. If someone tasked me with sort of feedback to the players how we've done, without trying to crush their sort of confidence in any way, you know, and there's some bright things that come of it. They're winning the game 1-0, but there's so many bits and pieces, little errors, bad passes that you've got to pick players up on. It's a character assassination.
Well, luckily enough, you're not giving them the debrief, you're giving it to us, and you crush away. Here is Caicedo down the left-hand side, swinging the ball out towards the right. It's collected by Gusto, brings the ball infield, gives it to Maatsen, and then doesn't go on, goes backwards, and Chelsea go back to halfway with 2 minutes and 30 seconds before the end of the first half. Gusto, again, trying to get beyond Mitchell, does well enough to sort of keep Chelsea in possession, but it was desperate as he tried to do so. Maatsen's played it to Nkunku, he's on the edge of the area, he's tried to turn Gay, he's done brilliantly to do so, then he needs a bit of support, gets it to Mudryk on the half volley, comes back off the defender, Anderson, he then sets it back for Colwill, who's not confident to shoot, so it goes to Jackson instead. They're 10 yards outside the box now with Caicedo. Gallagher, they're all very narrow now, Chelsea, there's no one out wide, so he has to go backwards rather than forwards.
Yeah, and Nkunku done really well there, got the ball in the box, showed good composure to pick out a decent pass. Palace were good enough to just get enough bodies around the ball.
Christopher Nkunku, he does look like he's got something, doesn't he? He looks like he's got that little bit of extra quality and class, maybe that the others don't have. He's a little bit older, he's obviously a lot more experienced. He played for RB Leipzig for a couple of years and was a real success in Germany. At one stage, he was the Bundesliga's top scorer. Had a big injury, ended up joining Chelsea, then picked up another injury in pre-season. And he's even joining in with the frustrations of Maurizio Pochettino and others who are watching Chelsea play the ball backwards, probably far too often. Here's Caicedo, far side, looking to turn. He plays it back into the right full-back position and then gives it to Gusto. Gusto to Gallagher, and now Chelsea look to manoeuvre the ball forward again. Into the final minute of the first half of the 7:30 kick-off at Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea leading through Mykhailo Mudryk's 13th minute goal. Elsewhere, Brentford are 3-1 down to Wolves at home, and Manchester City and Everton just about to start on TalkSport. Here is Badiashile, back to Petrovic, deep inside his own half, clips it wide to the right. Gusto takes it down and then didn't have anyone to connect with, goes outside to Maatsen. Maatsen then gives the ball away. And it's a foul by Maatsen, which gives a free kick to Ayew right at the end of the first half as Kilmarnock take the lead away at St Mirren.
They say that goals change games. If goals will change atmospheres in this stadium, Chelsea fans are just on the edge at the moment. They're thinking themselves, well, 1-0 up, OK, we're all right, we'll settle for that, we'll get better in the second half. If Palace were to get an equaliser now, it will get very hostile around here.
Ollie Watkins got that goal for Kilmarnock, and Everton underway against Man City as we go into the final few seconds of this first half. The ball is sent into the box, 2 minutes of added time. It's headed away by Maatsen, comes back out to Gurhi. Gurhi sends it wide to Elise. Elise sends it back to Mitchell. Mitchell wide to Elise, to Eze, who cuts infield. Looks to try and travel past Mudryk, feeds Mateta, edge of the box, he tries to hold it up. Chelsea players all dive in. Jackson with a poor clearance. Good tackle by Chris Richards, who's playing in midfield for the 6th straight game. Back to Ayew, flicks the ball to the far post, chested down by Elise. There's your equaliser. A turn and shot at the back post unmarked. And Michael Elise, who turned down the move to Stamford Bridge in the summer, has showed Chelsea just what they're missing out on. Probably the pitch's best player in the first 45 minutes. Superb technique to chest the ball down, swivel and hit it into the near post, beating Petrovic. And Chelsea, who had been inviting a bit of pressure, have conceded an equaliser on the stroke of half-time. Chelsea 1, Palace 1.
Well, the words just fell out my mouth, and it's interesting to see the atmosphere. Everyone's got up and bolted out for a pie by the looks of things. The best player on the pitch has got the equaliser, Sam. It's as simple as that. It's a fantastic, composed finish. He was at the far post, unmarked, chested it down and half volleyed it in. And he deserves that. His performance deserves that.
It was terrific, really. The way he chested that ball down, turned, swiveled and smashed it home. But Chelsea's defence, once again, lacking. A poor clearance by Jackson gave the ball away loosely in midfield. Half-hearted tackle, which Richards won full-blooded on Maatsen, who didn't fancy it. The ball ricocheted out towards the left-hand side, and as it was delivered back into the box, lurking at the far post was Elise, and he peeled off the back of the defenders and was there in acres of space to chest the ball down and score.
Well, I'm not sure who that was at the far post. I think it might have been Casado filling in, but my goodness, it was awful defence. He's just let Elise go, and you cannot do that. Not to a player like him who's on the form that he's on. I've been really impressed with him tonight.
Goal number 3 of the season for Michael Elise, and Chelsea have found themselves back level after having several chances to go further in front in the game. It's going to be a free kick on halfway for Chelsea after Nkunku was brought down. We played our 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first 45, and Gallagher gets us back underway. Michael Salisbury checks his watch, and Pochettino's got a bit of talking to do at half-time. He was already showing signs of frustration at one stage in that first half. He went darting down the touchline to just have a go at Badiashile for not getting things done quick enough. He's shown his frustrations by stomping around that technical area, and at half-time it is 1-1 between Chelsea and Crystal Palace. These two haven't drawn any of the last 24 league meetings, a run dating back to 1995. We might just test the strength of that statistic in the second half. It's Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1.
Well, Palace have been, for me, Palace have been arguably the better side in regard to the structure. Chelsea have got ability to cut through them on occasion and have done so on 3 occasions, one of those being the goal. But it's Palace that have got more structure to their play and more sort of know-how in looking, and the best player on the pitch in Elise, who's looked an absolute handful.
Proper handful, and he came up with a goal right on the stroke of half-time as Chelsea surrendered a lead given to them after 13 minutes by Mykhailo Mudryk. They had a couple of chances to extend their lead, including one for Nkunku and one prior to that for Maatsen, who actually poked the ball towards the goal before it was cleared away by Mitchell. Chelsea probably had 2 or 3 really good chances apart from the goal to extend their lead or to score in the game, but again, wasteful.
Yeah, indeed that. As I say, they can cut through you. They've caused problems with balls in behind. Mudryk's pace has been a bit of a problem. But they've not been clinical enough in the final third when they've got there on other occasions to really test Palace like they could. This game's in the balance now. Any team could win this. You know, Chelsea have got the ability to go and get a couple, but they've also got the ability to give possession away cheaply and concede a couple.
It's only the 5th first half goal that Palace have scored this season. They are the lowest first half scorers in the division, and they usually take a while to warm up, but they warmed up just before half-time, and after a misplaced pass from Jackson, a crunching tackle from Chris Richards, a delivery to the far post to Elise, it's 1-1 at the break between Chelsea and Crystal Palace. This is TalkSport 2.
TalkSport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the English Football League. The Premier League live on TalkSport 2 with Now. Stream the Premier League live without a contract from $11.99. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Y'all ready for something new? Just eat. Oh, you thought it was just burgers and fries? They got more flavors than you tasted or you heard in your life. Yummy.
All fantasize about our perfect home, watching the big game cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
From unpunished tackles to dodgy penalties, the VAR debates rage on. Be in the know with the ultimate football coverage from the Sun's free pull-out goals. With the best best writers pitchside for in-depth match reports, it's all about goals! And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League Two, it has to be goals! Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday only in The Sun.
Get set for the year ahead with a Screwfix winter sale. It's on now and packed with savings on trade essentials. From unmissable low prices on power tools, storage and landscaping, to must-have deals on hand tools and workwear. It's all in the Screwfix winter sale. Shop now on the app at screwfix.com or in-store. Don't miss out. End 7th of January. Screwfix, the choice of champions. While stocks last, visit screwfix.com for delivery charges and restrictions.
You'll only remember that sound if you're from the 90s, a time when the World Wide Web was still taking off. Dial-up was the thing, and McDonald's started cracking only free-range eggs, fresh every day, to use in all our McMuffins. It's just one of the little changes McDonald's have been constantly making to the way we source our food over the years. McDonald's. Change a little, change a lot.
Ah, that'll be my Amazon delivery.
Magnificent goal!
Beautiful football!
Brilliant finish!
Amazon delivers the Premier League live tonight from 7. Everton v Manchester City, Chelsea v Crystal Palace and Brentford v Wolves. Only on Prime.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs.
This game on coming this summer. Hear unrivaled coverage of UEFA Euro 2024 live on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
Unbelievable.
The biggest football tournament in Europe, driven by the passion and prowess of the world's biggest sports radio station.
Oh, yes!
Broadcasting unmissable output, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week throughout the entire tournament.
What a magnificent finish!
UEFA Euro 2024 Germany, coming soon to TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
The playlist on TalkSport 2. Top flight football conversation for the sporting nation.
He's going to be half fit at best.
Yeah, at best.
At best, half fit.
All the big name views, news, and opinions that matter.
This bloke's too good at football for me.
Pull up your socks, lace up your boots, and get stuck in.
They did win, and they won quite comfortably.
Get all the big fever pitch build-up, all in one mammoth sporting session.
Just give me the points. I want to be in front of them.
The playlist, Friday afternoon from 5 on TalkSport 2.
On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app, and on your smart speaker. Live Premier League on TalkSport 2.
Storms ravaging the country. Both these two could be in the eye of a storm. Chelsea's boss said the target was to be at the top this season, but 8 defeats before Christmas blew those hopes away. Palace have also lost 8 in the Premier League. Here is Mudryk bringing the ball and playing it forward and looking for Maatsen, who's in behind and past the goalkeeper, but Mitchell will get back and clear off the line. And why did Jackson not follow through and try and put that inside the 6-yard box? Giving it back to Gusto, left side of the box, into Mudryk, who taps it in on the edge of the 6-yard box. He stands with his arms spread wide, and he takes in the applause. A goal created by Gusto and gobbled up by Mudryk. Chelsea take the lead. All played up to Mudryk, the goal scorer. Into Caicedo. He's got Jackson making a run down the left channel. He could return this to Mudryk, who's in the box. He confronts the goalkeeper, who comes out, makes a really big save. Dean Henderson. Back to Ayew. Flicks the ball to the far post. Chested down by Elise. There's your equaliser. A turn and shot at the back post unmarked. And Michael Elise, who turned down the move to Stamford Bridge in the summer, has showed Chelsea just what they're missing out on. Chelsea 1, Palace 1. Live at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea against Crystal Palace, 1-1 at half-time. Here on TalkSport 2. Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce here through to the conclusion of this game. And then at 9:30 tonight, we'll bring you full commentary from Alexandra Palace at the Darts. Already been a very, very good evening session. We'll get to Paul Nicholson and Chris Mason very shortly indeed. Tomorrow night, live here on TalkSport 2, we're going to bring you even more live Premier League football. Brighton hosts Tottenham Hotspur. The Seagulls have won only one of their last 5 Premier League games, but their manager Roberto De Zerbi is enjoying the challenge of this season despite his side dealing with multiple injuries.
I'm very happy because I'm working a lot. I'm working much than last season, and I'm improving a lot because when there are many problems, a lot of problems, you have to work better and harder. And so I'm changing something on the pitch. I have to think better and in different way, because I have to respect the characteristic of the players, and I have to find the balance with the ball, without the ball, with the play in defensive space, in pressure, in build up, keeping the idea, because I can't change my idea, I can't change my DNA, but without 10 players, 8 players, you have to change something, to find different solution, to find different tactical disposition, to keeping the idea, the style, the main sense of our idea.
That's Roberto De Zerbi, the Brighton manager. And by the way, that game tomorrow night is live on TalkSport 2 with Alex Crook and the former Republic of Ireland manager Mick McCarthy. Brighton Tottenham 7:30 TalkSport 2, and tomorrow between 10 and 1 on TalkSport, Alex Crook and I will be joined by Adam Lallana, who speak very, very well about his manager Roberto De Zerbi. Make sure you join us for that tomorrow morning, 10 to 1 on TalkSport. Well, it's not just live football here on TalkSport 2 over the festive period. Straight after tonight's action at Stamford Bridge, we'll be heading over to the Alexandra Palace. The World Darts Championship continues, and we'll be bringing you live commentary of every dart thrown. Our team at Ali Pally, who'll be keeping you across the drama tonight. Paul Nicholson and Chris Mason, good evening to you boys.
Good evening, Sam, and welcome to North London. At the minute we've got Richard Veenstra and Michael Van Gerwen just getting underway. Very good first leg from Van Gerwen, the number 2 seed and currently the bookies' favourite for the title. But we've already seen tonight Chris Mason, Luke Littler going through to the next round here in North London. Just how impressive was he tonight?
Yeah, he played the game like he was an established seed doing this for years and years and years, and we forget he's just a 16-year-old lad on debut. Although at 16 he is vastly experienced, let's not forget he's already played a WDF Worlds and many titles as a youth player under the JDC and PDC youth format. But I was just so impressed. A 97 average, just shy of 50% on the doubles, 72 scores of a ton or more in 5 sets. He's put down a real statement tonight.
What really impressed you the most about the performance? Was it the fact that he came out of the blocks and won the first 2 sets without response?
Yeah, it was the maturity he showed in dropping that set, and something we picked up on many times down at the Super Series, that when he was allowed to play in that, of course, before getting a tool card.
The possibility of playing Raymond van Barneveld,
one of his heroes,
5-time world champion, in the next round, but he's got to get through Jim Williams, of course, and we will keep you up to date with that on TalkSport 2. But as far as this game here tonight, in the middle of the schedule, because we do have Michael Smith and Matas Razma for you to come after this. MVG against Veenstra, what's your thought on this one, miss?
Yeah, I've just got a feeling MVG's got one of them performances in him where he's going to come out and give someone a bit of a shellacking, because he usually does that in the Worlds, to put down a bit of a marker and let everybody know, right, I'm here, I'm up to speed and I'm in form, and I'm expecting to see a very good MVG this evening.
And you don't really think that MVG will like the fact that other people are taking the headlines? Luke Humphries took the headlines coming into this tournament. Luke Littler is getting the headlines now, but he's wanting to put in a performance. And when you consider the fact he's played 64 games in World Championships here at Alexandra Palace, he's averaging 15 darts per leg exactly for those 64 games, isn't he?
Yeah, staggering, isn't it? That over that period of time that he can maintain an average just north of 100. That shows you why he has been so hard to beat here. But for me, 3 world titles isn't enough.
He needs to get a 4th in the bag before he can try to equalise Raymond van Barneveld's 5. We all know that his tally that he wants in his career is a minimum of 6, just to be the best Dutch player in world darts and its history. But we do have Michael Smith, the defending champion, coming up in game number 3 tonight. He's up against Matas Razma, who is playing in his very first last 32 match. We'll have that for you live after Chelsea and Palace are done. So what we'll do now is we'll say that it's 2-1 in the first set to Van Gerwen. So back to Stamford Bridge.
Thank you very much to Chris Mason and to Paul Nicholson, and we'll keep in touch with them between now and 9:30 when they take over to bring you darts on the radio. It doesn't sound like it works, but we've been doing it for ages now, and it really, really does. Looking forward to the rest of the night's action from Ali Pally. Back with the boys very shortly. It's always available on the TalkSport app. Just download it. You can flick between TalkSport, TalkSport 2, any of the live games that we've got on the app, but you can also get hold of Virgin Radio, Virgin Anthems. You can listen to Talk Radio and Times Radio all rather easily if you just download the TalkSport app. We're at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea against Crystal Palace. The half-time scores elsewhere, or the scores elsewhere. Half-time in the game at the GTEC Community Stadium. It's Brentford 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Wolverhampton Wanderers taking the league early on with Mauro Lemina scoring after 13 minutes. Hwang Hee-chan then got 2 goals. Either side of that, Johan Visser puts Brentford on the scoreboard, but Wolves playing very well, although there was a change just before half-time as Hwang Hee-chan was replaced by Bellegarde, so it'd be interesting to see whether or not he's picked up an injury there. That would be disappointing for Gary O'Neill and his team. Everton 0, Manchester City 0 is live on TalkSport at this moment in time. They play 19 minutes and it's still goalless between Sean Dyche's side and Pep Guardiola's team. And in Scotland, Livingston 0, St Johnstone 0, just approaching half-time in that one. Kilmarnock 1-0 up over St Mirren, and in the Edinburgh derby, it's Hibernian 0, Hearts 0. It's 1-1 in the game at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea against Crystal Palace. Chelsea need to win to go back into the top half of the table. And Stuart Pearce, as we approach the start of the second half, Chelsea are a little bit open. Often as the game goes on, they've conceded now 59 goals in 2023. Their worst figures in nearly 30 years. Are you a little bit surprised that they haven't readjusted and brought on Thiago Silva at half-time just to add a little bit of experience to that back line?
Well, I was surprised he didn't start, if I'm being honest with you, but he's just one player in amongst the ranks. And what they tend to do is just play passes that put their teammate in problems, if I'm being honest.
They've got a problem here. Matata is getting in behind and he's chasing with Badiashile. He lost control of the ball and Badiashile just about dealt with it and managed to funnel it forward into Caicedo. Gallagher then picks the ball up, runs into Eze, draws the foul, and he was disappointed that Maatsen had come narrow instead of going wide out to the right-hand side, which is why he had to hold on to the ball and then draw the free kick. No changes at half-time for either of the two teams. Chelsea all in blue, apart from their socks, which are white. They're attacking the goal away to our right-hand side. And Crystal Palace in white shirts with light blue shorts. They've got a sash from left shoulder to right hip, and they're attacking the shed end and their supporters away to our left-hand side, who were very loud when Elise scored his goal. The teams line up like this. Petrovic is the goalkeeper for Chelsea, and the back four tonight: Malagusto, Disasi, Benoit Badiashile, Levi Colwill making up the back four, and then it's Gallagher and Caicedo in midfield with Maatsen, Jackson and Mudryk. As Palace come forward into the box with Eze, the cross towards the far post is dealt with by Colwill. Eze then turns away after committing a challenge on Gusto, delivers the ball into the box, is bobbling around, and Caicedo nods it down into the path of his teammate, and Chelsea look to go on the escape, but Anderson stops Chelsea in their tracks, and then Anderson has hurt himself, falling over as he went to win that header. Gusto's down inside the box, and the medical teams are going into overdrive.
Well, they certainly are. As I say, Eze put an absolute splendid cross. We're right in line with it here. It was on for a left footer, really, to curl it across the face of the goal. He's got his right foot round it, outside of the right foot, and good defending on the far post by Colwill, I've got to say. Otherwise, that man, unless he would have been knocking one in again.
The last time that Crystal Palace beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, as we break for a pause for treatment now to Joachim Andersen over on the far side, was April Fool's Day 2017. Christian Benteke and Wilfried Zaha scored in the first 11 minutes of that game. Ed Sheeran was #1 with Shape of You. That's on the new Stuart Pearce iPod. Trump was president-elect, and there was a confidence and supply motion propping up the UK government, and England won the Under-20 World Cup final for the first time. How are you getting on, by the way, with your Christmas present?
Yeah, what are they called again?
AirPods.
AirPods?
Yeah.
I've been calling them iPods.
Where have you been putting them?
Where would you insert them? I've worked that out. To be fair, they've taken me into the 21st century. The excitement on my little face come Christmas, I've got to say.
Yes. And when our producer Izzy asked him, well, what were you using before? He pulled out a pair of wired headphones. Okay, fine, yeah, people still use those. And an iPod Nano from 2007.
I thought that was pretty modern, you know.
Mate, it's pretty modern for you.
It's not bad for me, you know that.
Here is Conor Gallagher moving it out towards the near side. Gusto finds Gallagher, who trots again down towards the right as Chelsea look at it, and he's about 10 yards inside opposition territory. Gets a return pass from Gusto, and then off Maatsen too, and then goes back to halfway. A couple of Chelsea supporters in front of us were frustrated at half-time. They don't think that Gallagher has the requisite technique to play in the team, certainly captain it, and they are getting frustrated by Chelsea's propensity to keep playing the ball backwards instead of forwards.
Here we go. Here we go. They've had a succession of 10 passes then, ended up back at the goalkeeper because no one sees a pattern of what they're looking to achieve at present.
Is that Pochettino's fault, or is it the players'
it isn't.
fault?
The players must work that out, surely.
Here's Eze on halfway, guiding it back to Gurhi. Gurhi sends it to his goalkeeper. Henderson has it now. He plays it wide of the penalty area to Petrovic, gets it back to Henderson, and then Henderson looks up. 1-1, 5 minutes into the second half on TalkSport 2. Now Mitchell has it near side. He plays it down the left touchline, holding off the attentions of Gusto is Jordan Ayew. He looks to try and spin and turn and run, but Gusto is strong enough to nick it off him, and he's started to emerge as a bit of a favourite, Malo Gusto, because of his strength, his body strength, for his slight frame and his ability to get up and join the attack, and he has no little talent, the Brazilian. Chelsea have been dispossessed. Jackson's given it away. Elise comes forward on the Palace right. He feeds Mateta, but Mateta was just a little bit in front of the ball, and it goes between his legs, and Chelsea managed to clear. Jackson with another one of those flicks. This one just about comes off, but Mudryk can't utilise it, and Gurhi tidies up in the centre circle for Crystal Palace. And it remains 1-1.
Yeah, it's one of these games where there's certainly at both ends of the pitch chances are going to be created. It's just whether both teams are good enough to actually take them.
Maatsen into Caicedo, who is fouled by Lerma in the middle of the park, and that's going to be a free kick just right of the centre circle. Gallagher, square. I wonder if Chelsea are thinking about making a substitution. They do have Thiago Silva, Noni Madueke, Armando Broja, and Romeo Lavia on the bench, players of what you would call first team level. They have Alfie Gilchrist, Alex Matos, and Leo Castledine, on the bench too. And Stuart wasn't happy about seeing Leo Castledine on the bench because he used to play against his dad.
I did. The trouble is, you never know whether it's the son or the grandson these days, you know. I'm of that age.
And it's the son of the former Wimbledon player Stuart Castledine. His mum is Lucy Alexander, who is involved in Homes Under the Hammer.
Oh, right. One of my favourites. Is that the one Dion's on?
Yeah. Here is Elise picking the ball up, running through the middle of the park. He released it, gave it away, and then was fouled unnecessarily by Axel Disasi. And he's given away a free kick and picked up a yellow card. I wouldn't mind, but Elise had just played the ball straight to a Chelsea player. It was an unnecessary foul.
It was, and it was so late. It was incredible. I've no idea why he's done it as late as he's actually done it.
First yellow card of the game, and it's handed Crystal Palace another opportunity from a set piece. This is 8 yards from the edge of the D. It is just a smidgen left of centre. Jordi Petrovic just lining up the semblance of a wall, nothing more than that. I think he thinks it's too far out here. He just wants one in the wall. Yeah, I wouldn't be too confident about that being too far out. We've seen others strike it from this sort of distance. I keep going back to the Marcus Rashford one, and I said it's too far out, and you said it isn't, and then 2 seconds later it was in the net.
This is too far out.
Okay.
There you go.
Eze's going to take it. It's a good 30-plus yards from goal. He steps up right-footed, sends it down towards the bottom corner, and it whistles past the post. That's 1-1 between me and you now, by the way.
Okay, it had Petrovic squirming a touch, it's fair to say. And me, yeah. But I like to put my neck on the block so you can say I told you so.
Yes, that was very close to being another goal for Crystal Palace. Eze's effort, fizzing past the right hand upright. Petrovic went scrambling across, and the ball just went narrowly wide into the Crystal Palace fans, and Chelsea's goal kick goes out far side. 54 on the clock, Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 1. Talk Sport 2, Wednesday evening. Thursday evening sees us go to Arsenal on Talk Sport and to Brighton on Talk Sport 2. Friday we've got Championship action. Saturday back in the Premier League at Kenilworth Road. Sunday the session brings you 2 live games, and then Monday night, New Year's Day, yes, Liverpool against Newcastle. Incoming 7-goal thriller. Can't quite promise it, but I reckon
there'll be goals in that one.
Here is Badiashile. Out to the far side, Colwell back into Badiashile again. Midway point of the Chelsea half. Up to Moises Caicedo. £115 million worth of midfielder, Moises Caicedo. And then he gets it back again from Disasi. Looks like Romeo Lavia is about to come on for a Chelsea debut. Warming up away to our left-hand side for a while now. Mudryk continues down the left as Everton take the lead against Manchester City. Jack Harrison with a goal on the half-hour mark. Here's Mateta speeding away from the Chelsea defence into the box, right-footed towards the near post, and Petrovic just about spooned it round the upright. He was interested all right that time. He went down quick as a flash and just about got enough to turn it round the post, because Mateta, after getting away from 2 Chelsea defenders, pulled the hammer down on that one. It's a corner.
Yeah, Badiashile got caught going round, dipping round the wrong side of Mateta, and once he got turned and saw daylight, he started to open the legs and put some distance between him and Badiashile.
Corner number 79 of the season for Crystal Palace. They haven't scored from one yet. It's delivered to the far post, looking for Anderson, flicked behind by Gusto, and it goes out and away for the 80th corner of the season. A reminder of that scoreline from Goodison Park, which is live on TalkSport 2. Everton 1, Manchester City 0. It's 1-1 here, and Palace is sensing something. Yeah, Lavia's about to come on for Chelsea. As we mentioned, it looks like Thiago Silva is coming on too. And here is the corner that Chelsea have got to defend first. It's delivered towards the far post. Eze spotted Elise, he's peeled off again. His shot is tame this time. Chelsea scramble it to the edge of the box, force it outside the area, but it drops for Mateta, who fires over the top. There might have been a foul just before he hit it anyway, and the whistle went. It wouldn't have counted, but Chelsea had a little bit of a panic up.
They certainly did. No one took charge of anything in the box there, and it was Palace who kept it alive. A couple of weeks ago I turned around and said I can't believe Conor Gallagher is captain of this football team, you know, and that wasn't detrimental to Conor. It was just his age and his experience, that type of thing. The more I look at Chelsea, the more I think I know why he's the captain of this football team, because I don't see anyone else to take that mantle and offer that drive to his team.
How surprised are you that at 39 years of age, Thiago Silva is never the captain of a football team?
Well, that does surprise me because of his age and his experience, but if he's not a regular starter in the team, maybe that alludes to the reason why he's not picked as a permanent starter. But look,
I think Chelsea are going to a 3-man defence here. Elise has been given Colwell a torrid time all day. Thiago Silva is coming on. I wouldn't be surprised now to see Chelsea just shift things around slightly and go to a 3 at the back situation. Lavia's coming on to the field of play for his debut. And he gets the big build-up and comes on. Ian Maatsen comes off. Gusto goes out to... Oh, actually, they're going to go flat back four with Gusto as the left back and Disasi as the right back. So literally no one's playing in their right position.
You described that superbly, my friend. Well done.
Crikey. Disasi to take the free kick just short of the halfway line, right-hand side. He's delayed and then told to get on with it. He's then turned it backwards, of course he has, into Thiago Silva. The Chelsea fans aren't happy about that. 1-1 the score.
Well, Disasi nearly got booked for time wasting with his team 1-1 at home against Palace.
It's all about context, Stuart. You know, they're just going to try and stay in the top half of the table. That's their aim this season, mate. You know, there's many points. They've lost so many games at home. They don't want to lose another one. You listen to Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 1 on TalkSport 2 with Now. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Premier League action live without a contract from £11.99. Search Now. Sports 59 on the clock. Everton 1, Manchester City 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-1 up away at Brentford, and Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 1, live on TalkSport 2.
I don't think I've seen an effort at goal this half from Chelsea, have you?
No, not in the second half. I don't think they've had one. Rather outside of their own territory. It's a little bit like the first 45 minutes where they started slowly, then grew into the game. They might have one now. No shots on goal, no shots on target, and no shots off target in this second half. And 0 expected goals as a result, as you would imagine. Here's Gallagher, though, playing it out towards the right for Nkunku, who sends the ball towards the far post. It's behind Jackson. There was a little touch by the goalkeeper, I think, that flicked it away. But that was the best move that Chelsea have fashioned in this second half. And it was so close to generating a big chance for Nicholas Jackson at the far post. Back it goes to Henderson, who clears.
I'm just saying, Henderson got a wonderful touch on that.
Oh dear. Mateta has just bullied his way past Badia Shield. Half-hearted challenge from Thiago Silva. Gives us the ball to Eze. His strike takes a deflection, bobbles up into the arms of Petrovic, and Chelsea urged to come forward. He was going to dispatch it quickly, then he stopped. He was told to. And now Badia Shield has run into trouble on this near side. It was a good touch, wasn't it, from Henderson, from that cross from the right-hand side from Nkunku.
Yeah, it certainly was. Just took it away from maybe Modric coming in at the far post, or Gusto, I don't know which.
Well, so Chelsea have just changed their line-up slightly, so they've got Nkunku on the right, Jackson through the middle, on the left Mudryk, and Gallagher playing further up as one of the 3 midfield players. The 2 deeper line midfield players now, Caicedo and Romeo Lavia, who's making his debut for Chelsea after his move from Southampton. He plays the ball to Gallagher. He had an injury for the first 5 months of the season. Gallagher looking up again, having to drag the ball through the middle of the park. He needs a little bit of help, gives it to Caicedo, then Disasi, and then back into Caicedo once again. Thiago Silva then plays the ball far side towards the Chelsea left. Gusto's not going to reach that. Palace are, and then Gusto has to come across to try and stop them from progressing up the pitch via Klein and Elise. And Chelsea have it back again. Romeo Lavia into Thiago Silva, wider to the right, and Disasi slips it down the side. Jackson trying to get in, just a little bit too heavy, and out comes Dean Henderson. 1-1, 30 to go.
Yeah, just looking at Chelsea on their build as well. Caicedo he's not proactive in getting on the ball and turning and playing forward, is he? There's a lot of bump passes backwards all the time from him, and Conor Gallagher's going to need someone to share the load and look to play forward passes.
The last appearance that Romeo Lavia played was in that 4-4 final day draw with Liverpool back in May. He's a Belgian international. It cost Chelsea a hell of a lot of money, £58 million from Southampton, a 7-year contract. He played 34 times for Southampton last season. Had the most starts of any teenager in the Premier League last campaign, 26 of them. But has commanded transfer fees already in excess of £70 million. And he's only 19. He's on the ball now, just left of centre. Playing it back to Badia Shield. Then back out towards the aforementioned Belgian once again. And Chelsea look to come forward with Mykhailo Mudryk, who scored their goal, weaving his way through a clutch of Palace players. They surround him, eventually manage to hound him off the ball, and it breaks out on the far side, and Chelsea win it back. And now, all of a sudden, after spending so much time on the back foot at the start of this second half, Chelsea now just occupying space inside Palace territory. They do and half give the ball away far too often, and they've done that again. Caicedo and Gallagher have conspired to win it back, and Chelsea look to build once more.
And once again, it's Caicedo. He looks up. Gallagher's got two men around him, literally in touching distance, and he shoves the ball at him.
It's all about choices. Gallagher, Lavia on the halfway line. Mauricio Pochettino stalking inside that technical area, knowing that his team have just not quite lived up to expectation again. Here is Disasi into Caicedo, stumbling to keep hold of the ball. Back it goes to Gallagher. Lavia, first time out wide towards the left, and Nkunku looks to take on the defender. Goes on the inside, then back on the outside. He's going to try and turn again here, and Lavia's in a bit more space now. Takes one touch, plays it infield, into Caicedo, back to Lavia once again. Chelsea's build-up all happening outside the penalty area here. A good 10 yards from the box. Palace keeping them at arm's length until Mudryk swishes across from left side to right. Well dealt with by Tyreek Mitchell. And then it comes back towards the Palace goal, and Mudryk trying to stretch for a ball which Klein is going to reach, and he clears to halfway. Mateta making a nuisance of himself, putting pressure on Badiashile, who doesn't use his wing bearers very often. Caicedo, Lavia. Chelsea need to get the ball wide. There's a tight, packed, narrow group of white shirts protecting that box now. Lavia just left of the centre circle. Gusto trying to provide a bit of width. Moves out towards the far side, cuts infield, plays it to Caicedo. He was immediately engaged by Eze because it wasn't a great ball forward. And then Lavia with a ridiculous challenge on Elise, which is going to surely generate a booking.
Well, the referee is not booking him for this, and really he should be.
That's stupid. I mean, that was a ridiculous challenge. He definitely needs to go in the book for that.
Literally cut him in two, didn't he? There was a counter-attack option on, and he's cut the player in two. But Chelsea getting to a certain area of the pitch, just inside Palace's half, maybe a bit further on, are just running out of ideas, to be quite honest with you.
They've lost all their width as well now, though, haven't they? I mean, you know, Gusto on that left-hand side will try to get up, but he's always going to want to come in on his right foot because he's a right-footed player. Disasi's not a full-back. He's not going to get down this near side. And Nkunku, who is now the right-sided player, always travels infield. So there's very little width about the team, and Palace are very good at blocking up the middle of the park. We saw that against Tottenham. We saw that against Liverpool recently. Anderson has given the ball away. Chelsea come forward. Gallagher 30 yards from goal. He's dead centre of the opposition half. Lays it off to Caicedo. Wide onto Nkunku. Back further out to Disasi. Nkunku again. Chelsea, who got up to the penalty area, have decided the nosebleed was coming, so have gone backwards again. They've given it to Caicedo. He's on the right touchline. He travels laterally into the middle of the park. Gallagher, and then into Caicedo, but he took too long to play that pass. That pass was on. Infield towards Mudryk. He didn't play it first time, he took a touch, and by the time he'd done that, the lane had been shut off, and it was picked off by Palace, who come forward, and there's space to run into for Nathaniel Klein. He saw the green grass, and charge he did, forward down the right. He's ended up with Gusto on the floor, slipping and sliding and trying desperately to hold him off. He's just about managed it, got the ball clear, and now Chelsea are urged forward. Lavia takes the ball from the edge of his own penalty area, shoots it upfield, overhits it, goes out of play. It's away for a throw-in deep inside Palace territory. Even Stuart Pearce is shaking his head.
Yeah, as I say, the ideas and the lines of breaking Palace down are just not there at the moment, and Chelsea are keeping the ball, passing it sideways forward, but not through the lines in any way, shape or form.
What will concern Chelsea is that most of the Palace goals do come in the second half, and Chelsea, who usually are good front runners, are unbeaten in all the games in which they scored first, but those things can change, as we saw with Aston Villa last night, who took the lead and ended up losing to Manchester United thanks to a second half comeback. Palace coming on strong again now with Ayew down the left. It's picked up by Mitchell into Ezer, being chased by Gallagher, Richards, and then on to Ayew as well. He comes infield onto his right foot, then looks to go back outside on the left, a low ball into the box which bobbles through, and then Lavia has to clear. And the thing is, you know, with Roy Hodgson, all this will be planned. They will plan their border raids. They won't go gung-ho all the way through this second half. They'll go, right, okay, we'll have 15 minutes of going for it. We'll sit off a little bit. We'll wait to the latter part of the half and then go again. They did a very similar thing when they went to Manchester City, and afterwards in his interviews he said, look, you've got to be patient. Sometimes you just have to just plot your route before you start trying to charge at an opposition defence. Wait till they're weary, wait till they're desperate and searching for a goal, and then you can go for yours.
Yeah, it's, as I say, Wiley Ulmer, he's been around the game a long, long time. And Chelsea, I think, have just called Brozier and Madawaku in from a warm-up, so I take it they'll be coming on shortly.
Yeah, Armando Broja and Noni Madueke. Broja, who's called himself Broja and Broja in recent seasons, did settle on Broja when we were at Fulham. We asked him to pick one, and he picked that one, and then walked away with a Chelsea iPhone, did a social media video and said, hi, it's Armando Broja. If he doesn't know, what else have we got? Here is Lerma moving through the middle of the park, onto Mateta, and then onto Ezer. He swishes the ball out towards his near side, flighting it into the path of Ayew. Ayew motors up towards the angle of the penalty area, then cuts in on his right foot, tries to bobble a ball through towards Ezer. It's blocked by the Chelsea defence, but then they think, well, why not give it back again? So Disasi does just that. Ayew takes over once more for Crystal Palace. 1-1 at TalkSport. Back it goes to Chris Richards, to Gay, and then on to Klein, who miscontrols it, and Mudryk is getting out there, and that was a little bit hefty from Klein on Mudryk, who's gone down, but the referee's played on. Mateta turns, he's got hold of the ball now, and Mudryk is off the pitch. The referee is playing on here. Chelsea a little bit disappointed with that. Mudryk needs to get back to his feet. Chelsea down to 10 players at this moment in time. Richards in midfield for Crystal Palace has it, just in front of the centre circle. Pochettino's not happy. Chelsea having to defend here with Ayew producing a cross towards the far post. It's a little bit too big. Goes behind and out for a goal kick, and they need to get players on here. Elsewhere, Everton 1, Man City 0, approaching half-time, and Brentford lead 3-1 away at Brentford. You're up to date on TalkSport 2. Double substitution for Chelsea, and off comes Christopher Nkunku, and on comes Noni Madueke, off comes Mikhailo Mudryk, who's already off the field on the far side, and on comes Armando Broja.
Yeah, they need a bit of change, a bit of life, and a different idea at it at the moment, Chelsea. They don't look close to scoring and winning this game at the moment. If anything, if Palace keeps supplying the lessee, they've got every chance.
You're listening to Chelsea 1, Palace 1 on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Well, Mikhailo Mudryk is off after scoring the only Chelsea goal of the game. They don't score too many goals. That is a habit that they've got into over the last few years, really. And Nkunku hasn't got on the score sheet tonight. There's been brief flashes of his quality, but he did have a good chance and went running through the middle of the pitch, collapsed when he was expected to pull the trigger. And now Chelsea relying on Broja to try and get a goal to put them back in front. He's putting pressure on the defender Gay. It's nothing more than just a nudge off the ball by the England centre half, and the Albanian just goes over and has a word with his former teammate. And Chelsea look to build again. Nicholas Jackson comes forward. Gallagher wants it. He took too long to pass it to him, and the gap closed, but Gallagher has got it back again now. It's touched back out towards the right side. Disasi on to Madueke. Gallagher, and Disasi's movement, but he can't squeeze the ball back to him because he's got two hounding him, and it goes out for a throw on this near side.
I'm not sure what Chelsea would do without Gallagher, to be fair, and his energy and his drive.
They want to sell him, Stuart. They want to sell him. In the January transfer window, they want to sell him. How ludicrous is that? Mateta trying to turn. He should have turned quicker because Elise had made a brilliant run into the channel. He might still be able to get hold of it because Eze has got the ball and he's running, and Elise's had to keep himself on side. Mateta almost lining up like the starter's block of a 100 metres race, just trying to stay on as he goes forward on the right side. Elise has it far touchline now. And then they've backed off Chelsea and just let them off a little bit. They had their foot on their throat at one stage there. Elise might still have his foot on it because he's coming forward. He's fed Mateta inside the area. It's poked back to the edge of the box. Jefferson Lerma's got it now. Wide on the right. Ball into the area. Thiago Silva away. It's going to drop on the edge of the box. Madueke tries to get there, but it's a Palace shirt that reacts quickest. It's now for Mitchell. It's Madueke who makes the tackle. Now Chelsea steal it, and now they run clear, and Madueke is away, and he's speeding through the centre circle. It was pulled back, he was tugged back, he was pulled down by Richards. It's going to be a yellow card. Oh, it's almost a red card there because the referee got confused by what he had in his pocket. It's a yellow in the end for Chris Richards.
Yeah, and rightly so. As I say, Madueke done really well there, just evaded the first couple of challenges, but just into the centre circle got pulled down.
TalkSport 2, 1-1 between Chelsea and Crystal Palace as we go into the final 17 minutes of the game. Gallagher, he's got space for Jackson through the centre, he's fed him, Jackson is through and he's missed the target. Conor Gallagher looks to the sky saying, what on earth do I have to do? Nicholas Jackson sent through, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, only had to hit the target, and he steered it wide. What a chance for a winner for Nicholas Jackson. How on earth has he missed? He doesn't know, his teammates don't know. The man who fed him, Conor Gallagher, just looks forlornly into the evening sky.
Well, Gallagher could have done absolutely no more. He put a written message on the ball, just pop this one in the net for us, son, will you, and win us the game. And, well, he's chipped it over the goalie, and from our angle you're thinking, well, we're just waiting to nestle in the back of the net.
I wonder whether it hit the outside of the post as it went through. I'm not even sure it was that close. I mean, Gallagher takes a good touch, turns, plays a perfectly weighted ball. He doesn't get better than that. He's missed the target by about a yard.
He has. As I say, he's put no curl on the ball whatsoever. He's chipped it straight, and it's gone straight, and straight was wide.
Gusto, edge of the area, left side, into the box. Well, that was the idea, but it was blocked by Jefferson Lerma. Caicedo has found Disasi. Disasi's got down the right side, put a cross into the box. It's over the head of Jackson. It's gone right through the penalty area. It goes out the other side. It's going to be a Palace throw in the right fullback position. They're going to bring on Jeff Schlupp. Ray Lewington has just come out. And, yeah, it's definitely shorts weather for Ray. He's out there. He's just orchestrating the final few instructions. Paddy McCarthy, who does a lot of the coaching now at Crystal Palace, issuing the final few words. Out on the right, Madueke picks it up for Chelsea, looks to drive into the box, goes left, then right, then holds onto the ball, stops, then tries to twirl round the corner. He needs some support. Thiago Silva will provide it. And Gallagher makes a dart into the right channel. They don't use him. Caicedo, someone needs to make a run. Disasi, Gallagher, edge of the area, all very tight and intricate, but no real penetration from Chelsea here with 15 minutes to go and 1-1 the scoreline. It's back to Thiago Silva. His ball is flicked on. Jackson is there, and this time he does manage to prod it home inside the 6-yard box. He missed a really easy chance minutes ago. An instinctive prod has got him out of jail, and may well have just got Pochettino and Chelsea out of jail as well. Brilliant cross on the right-hand side, set up by Thiago Silva's ball into the area, and as it went into the box, it was converted by Nicholas Jackson right on the edge of the 6-yard. It might have taken a deflection on the way through and dropped kindly for him, and he converted it for his 9th goal of the campaign, and Chelsea lead 2-1.
Yeah, it's got a big deflection off of Eze, who's helped it on. It's helped it over his central defender's head, and I've got to say, on the half volley, he's just prodded it, and it's nestled in the far corner. We weren't sure with his recent history whether it was nestled wide, were we? But You've got to keep getting in there and keep missing them to score them, as they say. And Chelsea have took the lead. I'm not sure against the run of play, but they've taken the lead.
Is that the maxim? You've got to keep missing him to score them, because if that's the case, then Chelsea are going about their business right. They're checking for a possible offside here. The VAR is checking for a possible offside here. Well, I mean, does the deflection happen? Where does the deflection happen? I suppose that's the key thing, isn't it? Because that's what delays his movement into the box. Did he go too early? It's the initial ball that we need to see. We haven't seen the angle of that yet. He thought he'd timed it perfectly, but you wouldn't bank on that judgment. You'd have to wait and see until they've put the lines in. Well, it does look as if Broja is offside in the middle of the park when the ball is taken. It's going to be incredibly tight. It's offside. It's offside. They've chalked off the goal. It's 1-1. And Jackson did go just that split second too early. And Chelsea, who thought their blushes were spared, are going red-cheeked all over again.
Really, really tight, that one. But you would say, in fairness of football, probably Chelsea didn't deserve to take the lead, but doesn't mean much this day and age.
Well, we've seen the pictures on the monitor in front of us now, and the VAR decision is now complete. It is very tight, isn't it? But he is just ahead of the last defender, I think. Ayew has come off for Crystal Palace, and Jeff Schlupp is now on. And Chelsea still have got 12 minutes to go to try and fashion a winner in this game and make sure they don't concede a goal which could cost them the game.
Yeah, you still think oh my goodness, you still think there could be a winner here for one of the teams, but probably a winner coming from a mistake rather than a really good piece of play.
Yes, you never know. Anything can happen. And now Madueke and Tyreek Mitchell have just started to get involved with one another on the near touchline, bumping chests and pushing one another. The fourth official and Ray Lewington doing their best to diffuse the situation. Madueke is going to be booked, and he's unhappy about that. Tyreek Mitchell is also going to be booked, and we are going to get play once again, but it seemed a little bit unnecessary. I don't even know what caused that. Did he just stand in his way?
I think Madueke just kicked the ball away, just rolled it up the touchline a little bit, which stoked Mitchell up.
A bit of an over-the-top reaction to that, wasn't it?
I thought so.
Here is Caicedo. Gay getting it back to Mitchell on this near side. Madueke goes in for a tackle on him. Now Broja looks to escape in behind Chris Richards. He drags the ball down and then tries to take on the USA international, but only manages to take the ball out of play on this near side. And it goes out for a throw into Crystal Palace. And two balls on the pitch, so we have a brief delay. How much of a sucker punch is that for Chelsea's confidence to see Nicholas Jackson miss a golden chance and then have the goal that he did score? It was instinctive, the goal that he did score, chalked off for a minimal offside. Oh no, Thiago Silva has fallen over and the ball's run through towards Jeff Schlupp, and there's space on the far side for Elise, who's in the box. He tries a shot, it's blocked initially, he goes back and he shoots, and it's saved by Petrovic down to his left. He turns it round the post and it's out for a corner. Thiago Silva lost his bearings, went to try and volley the ball back over his head, completely mistimed it, and Palace were in.
Yeah, they certainly were, and probably Schlupp's pass across to Elise was probably a little too firm potentially. Needed to commit a defender, then roll someone in for a first-time finish. Credit to Chelsea, got back, ended up getting the block, and a good save by the goalkeeper.
It's going to be a corner over on the far side. 81 corners now without scoring. It's to Eze into the box, and it's repelled really well by Caicedo, but it wasn't a great ball. It has left an acre of space on the far side for Elise, and they've picked him out. His ball into the box, travels past Schlupp, headed away by Thiago Silva. Chelsea receive it in the left full-back position. Gusto trying to get it clear, can't do so. So we'll go off to the darts at Alexandra Palace, and here's Paul Nicholson.
Thank you, Sam. Very quickly, we can tell you now that game number 2 is in the books And Richard Veenstra, who came into this second game of the night after winning 6 straight sets in his first 2 games, didn't win a set in this one. Van Gerwen was exceptional at times, averaging over 100 in 3 of the 4 sets, and he's won that one by 4 sets to 0. We've got Michael Smith, the defending champion, coming up next against Madars Razma.
Thank you, and we've got the full commentary from 9:30 from Alexandra Palace. TalkSport 2 is the home of the darts. We love the darts on TalkSport 2. Chris Mason and Paul Nicholson with you straight after we finish here at Stamford Bridge, where it's finally poised at 1-1. Brozier has run in behind. He's brought the ball down inside the box, left-footed into the side netting. And he brought it down really well, and his technique looked really good as he shaped to shoot and arrowed that in towards the near post. He was narrowly wide of the right-hand upright and rippled the side netting rather than the back of it.
Yeah, literally done everything right, as you say. I thought he was offside for one moment, but I don't think he was. And then all of a sudden, when he unloaded the left foot shot, it was just outside the post.
Currently Chelsea 1, Palace 1, and for the latest odds you can head to William Hill, the official betting partner of TalkSport 2's Premier League coverage, where right now Chelsea to win is 12-5, Palace to win 11-2, the draw 20-11 on. It's all thanks to William Hill. Get epic value all season with William Hill. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. TalkSport 2, the conclusion of a nail-biter between Chelsea and Crystal Palace on TalkSport at this moment in time. Everton lead Manchester City by goal to 0 at half-time in that game. There's a full second half to come. If football is your thing, then you can switch back to TalkSport and get the whole second half when we finish here at Stamford Bridge. But we've still got a way to go yet. Is there going to be one last chance in this game? Chelsea, who are on their 3rd manager of 2023, hasn't been a very stable year, have not enjoyed a very stable performance. And after this, they've got a couple of days off before they resume Premier League action against Luton on Saturday on TalkSport. Here is Jackson. Over on the far side, jinks his way past 2 challenges. He runs forward, he plays it out towards the left. Chelsea 1, Palace 1 on TalkSport 2 as Broja takes over now. Over on the left-hand side for Chelsea. Back to the midpoint of the Palace half. It's returned towards Broja. Inside the area, can't get it under control from Caicedo's pass. It's funneled behind and it's out for a corner, and Anderson nudges it behind. Well, Chelsea have missed a brilliant chance to go in front. Gallagher with a beautiful ball forward into Jackson. He spurned the opportunity from 7 yards out. Moments later he did score an instinctive finish from a Thiago Silva deflected ball, but it was ruled out for a marginal offside, and it's 1-1 and finally poised at the end of the game here at Stamford Bridge. 5 minutes to go. Gallagher to take the corner in front of the Matthew Harding end. Over on the far side as Wolves go 4-1 up at the G-Tech. The ball's in towards the near post. Disasi with a header. It comes towards Jackson. He tries an overhead kick. There's a challenge by Eze on the edge of the box. Madueke goes down, wants a penalty, but Palace are escaping. It's 4-on-2 and Eze is leading it. He's charged up to the edge of the area. He's jinked past 2 challenges. Gusto manages to rob him of the ball and then bring it clear for Chelsea. What a passage of play, Stuart Pearce.
Quite incredible, really. Madueke still lying in the penalty box, trying to dictate to everyone, look, I was actually fouled. Palace not stopping for anybody, and they shouldn't have to.
And there's loads of space for Elise over on the far side. He's got hold of the ball and then he stopped and just funneled it back into Clyde. Back to Elise right side. Chelsea defending with 10 at this moment in time because of Madueke's injury. Elise to the far post. Schlupp with a header. And it goes out and away for a corner on this near side. What an end to the game on TalkSport 2. Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 1. And Palace now going at it away to our left-hand side in front of their supporters. That penalty shout at the other end came from Conor Gallagher's corner, delivered into the box. It was headed away, right on the edge of the box. And that foul by Eze, or attempted foul by Eze, or accused foul, is now being checked by the VAR for a possible penalty for Chelsea, Stuart Pearce. It looked like it.
Well, Madueke is absolutely adamant that he was brought down.
He's going over to the referee review area. So as a result of that, Michael Salisbury has been told by Chris Kavanagh to review that challenge, and Chelsea have a big chance here to get a penalty. He trots over towards the far side in front of the west stand to watch a review of that challenge by Eze on
Noni Madueke. It was just inside the box. It did look like a foul at first glance. Second glance on the monitor, it certainly looked like a foul. It came off Chris Richards at the near post, went into the box, Anderson headed it away, and it does look like a foul by Ezer on the edge of the penalty area. It was definitely inside the box. What do you make of it, Stuart? You're not 100% convinced that this should be a penalty, but the referee is looking at the RRA.
Well, I think it will be given. I'm not sure Eze has put his feet out to actually do anything, but I'm sure it will be given by the time they go to the screen.
It is given by the referee, and Chelsea have a penalty. Chelsea are awarded a penalty deep in the second half of the game with just 2 minutes remaining. And they've got a bit of an issue here because they've been awarded 6 Premier League penalties this season. They scored 5 of them, but Fernandes, Sterling and Cole Palmer are not available tonight. So who on earth is going to take it? Conor Gallagher, Noni Madueke and Nicholas Jackson are arguing over it. Who would you give it to, Stuart Pearce?
I think probably Conor Gallagher personally. You know, he's the captain of the football team. I mean, Madueke's been limping around trying to tell everyone it was a penalty. Now all of a sudden it is a penalty. He's got the ball under his arm and the injury's cleared up.
Well, it's been one of those nights where Chelsea haven't been at their best, there's no doubt about it. They've been scattergun at times, their patterns of play have not been precise, but Madueke has stolen the ball and said, I'm taking charge of this situation. A night where Chelsea have had a goal disallowed for offside. Chelsea have missed a massive chance to go 2-1 up through Nicholas Jackson. And now the responsibility of 3 points against Crystal Palace and only a 6th Premier League win at home in 2023 rests upon the shoulders of Noni Madueke, who's come off the bench to replace Christopher Nkunku in this second half. He places the ball down on the spot. He eyeballs Dean Henderson, who has a good Premier League penalty-saving record. He bounces up and down behind his line. Madueke takes 4 steps back. The Chelsea fans hold their breath. They watch on. He runs up, left-footed, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and Chelsea steal all 3 points in the final minute of the game. Noni Madueke with a brilliantly composed penalty, sending the ball to the goalkeeper's right. Henderson went to the left, and Chelsea lead by 2 goals to 1. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, it's good composed penalty there. Just staggered run up and then slotted it with his side foot, left foot to the goalkeeper's right. Chelsea have managed to snatch a victory like they did a couple of weeks ago in the Carabao Cup at last knockings. And listen, while you're not playing particularly well, if you can keep the victories coming, keeps the Wolves at bay, as they say.
Well, they couldn't keep Wolves at bay, but they have kept the Eagles from their door. All 3 points look like they're heading in the pocket of Pochettino. He's been frustrated, agitated, furious, agonised on the touchline. He's watched his youthful team, the youngest average starting 11 all season in the Premier League, make mistake, look a little bit uncoordinated throughout the course of the evening, but they might just come away with all 3 points for their last outing of 2023 in front of their home supporters. Matheus França is on for Crystal Palace for the final few minutes of the game, and Alfie Gilchrist is on in the next few minutes to make a Premier League debut. Here is Lavia, then Caicedo, into Conor Gallagher, who gave his blessing to Noni Madueke eventually, but it takes some kahunas to pick that ball up and say, I'm going to take it in the final minute of the game, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, as I say, credit to him. He was the one who forced the penalty or forced the challenge, and he was the one who converted the penalty. And Chelsea will be delighted to snatch 3 points from this game.
And it is snatch, isn't it?
I think so. I think Palace will be very disappointed they've come away with nothing in the game, albeit Chelsea have had a couple of opportunities.
And they've got another one here. Thiago Silva plays it into Broja, couldn't get it under control until he used his hand, and the referee spotted that. And it's going to be a free kick. Off comes Badiashile, on comes Gilchrist for the final few moments of the game. I didn't see how much added time was allotted here.
We've had 2 of them already. 8 added minutes. 8 added minutes at the end of the game. So we've still got 6 to play here, and that could be concerning for Chelsea. Wolverhampton Wanderers, I don't think, will be having any concerns whatsoever in their game at the GTEC Stadium. They are 4-1 up in their match away at the GTEC. Bellegarde with their latest goal on 79 minutes. And they got all 3 points. Away by Anderson for Crystal Palace. Can they come back and steal a point in the game? It's played against Madueke, who may have got the winner for Chelsea. His penalty kick in the last few minutes of the game looks to have secured all 3 points. Here is Disasi under pressure from Mateta, who just nudges him to the floor. I'll tell you what, we're going to bring you the interviews a little bit later on TalkSport of Pochettino and Roy Hodgson. I imagine Roy Hodgson will be particularly frustrated that he hasn't got anything from the game, should it stay like this. Pochettino mightily relieved, I think.
Yeah, no doubt about it, he will be. He looks so frustrated down there, and I can quite share his frustration, to be fair. I don't manage his team, but I share his frustration at times. And
you actually said to me at half-time you want to go and do an interview with him and ask him what he thinks of his team.
I'm sure he'd be a little bit coy, but if we could get the barriers down a little bit, it'll be an interesting conversation.
The outtakes might be great. Broja down this near side to the right, trying to get beyond Gay, who takes him towards the perimeter of the playing surface. On the left side as Palace look at it, in goes Gilchrist with a thunderous challenge and then tries to throw his head at the ball as well. The ball breaks towards the midpoint of the Palace half, and Chelsea stop Palace from taking a quick free kick. And they're looking to waste a little bit of time here, Chelsea. They're looking to get over the line here, Chelsea. And they've got to get through another 2.5 minutes of added time in order to get all 3 points here. And there has been something that's been few and far between. They started the day closer to the bottom than 4th place, but this will give them a little timely boost, even if they haven't been perfect. But here comes Elise again, trying to weave his way into the box. His shot is saved down low by Petrovic, who catches it. And Chelsea hold on to it. It's going to be 8 Premier League games now without a win for Crystal Palace. A 12th consecutive defeat against Chelsea.
Yeah, they've been very unfortunate tonight not to come away with at least a point.
Petrovic has just miskicked the ball almost straight to Eze, but it was gobbled up by Caicedo, who managed to manufacture a clearance. Yeah, if you're Roy Hodgson, you look back at the last few weeks and you look at the Liverpool result for an example, and look, there's a problem here. Pochettino's going to find himself in trouble because he's been having a go at the assistant. He's been charging down the touchline. He has been out of his box quite often. He gets a yellow card now. He's trying to apologise, but I mean, he hasn't really got a case for getting away with a yellow card because he's probably been in danger of earning 4 or 5 tonight, the amount of times he's strayed outside that technical area.
Well, to be fair, he should have got booked for remonstrating with Badashile, I think, in the first half, for his refusal to take a free kick.
The free kick is not a free kick. I think it's a throw-in, isn't it? They've all lined up for a free kick, the Crystal Palace players. It's not a free kick at all, it's the throw-in. And the referee has told him to go back. And Pochettino said that's what I was moaning about. France are trying to get on the ball. It's played against him by Silva. It goes out and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. 96 now on the clock. Gilchrist goes over and fist pumps and chest pumps with Thiago Silva. Played in the first team before, but he is a 20-year-old defender making his presence felt. He's trying to drive the crowd on to get through and get over the line here. Still Pochettino is almost on the pitch. He's desperate for 3 points, desperate to claw Chelsea over the line. Their worst form at home since 1986. Chelsea, who have had a very bad year, hoping to end it on a high here at Stamford Bridge. They've just got to see it through the final few seconds. Crystal Palace this year has come to a rather limp end. They haven't been imperfect, but they have just faltered and run into teams at the wrong time and been a little bit unfortunate at times. Here's Madueke holding on to the ball, playing it to Jackson, who's a mile offside, surely. He's into the box, he's fallen over, he's given it back to Madueke, and now the offside flag goes up about 7 days after the initial offence took place. Free kick.
Well, listen, the less said about that offside, so late the better. And Palace have got the ball.
Henderson has it. One last chance, possibly. One last moment. Is there going to be a little bit of creation right at the end from Crystal Palace? If anyone can do it, Elise can. He flicks the ball to França near side. A beautiful touch to take it out of the sky. He runs along the 18-yard line, tries to get the shot away. It's blocked by Thiago Silva. Richards helps it back into the box. Caicedo with a poor clearance. Still Palace have it. Right side Elise being asked to go out there by Anderson. He gets to the touchline and then comes back in. Delivers a left-footed cross. It's a deep one, but it's over Mitchell's head. It floats out into the Palace fans. And it goes out for a goal kick, and the Chelsea supporters now believe that 3 points is going to be theirs. There was 6 minutes of added time to play. We've into the 8th minute that has been added on the end of the game. It's a Noni Madueke penalty that is going to win the game for Chelsea at this moment in time. City are back on the score sheet. Phil Foden with the goal after 53 minutes. Everton 1, Manchester City 1. That's on TalkSport this moment in time. The clearance upfield by Petrovic. Attempted header by Broja. It drops on halfway. Gallagher takes charge. He charges forward. He keeps going. He pushes the ball down the right, the former Palace player. He goes into the right corner of the field. He drags Chelsea away from danger. He holds onto the ball. He runs down the clock. He plays it against Mitchell and wins the throw-in down by the corner flag. Excellent play by the captain.
Yeah, he certainly offered drive to his team where too many players were going down blind alley with their passing.
Corner kick on the near side. That's what Gallagher won. He's going to take it, he's going to tap it. We've played 99 minutes now. He plays it into Broja. Broja trying to get it away from the Palace defenders. It goes out for a Chelsea throw, and the pressure tick away. Chelsea have done it. They don't win much, so it all feel good when they do. But Chelsea fans get to see one of only 6 Premier League victories here in 12 months. On their last Stamford Bridge appointment of the year, it just about sneaks them into the top 10 on goal difference above Bournemouth. They just about snuck past Crystal Palace thanks to a Noni Madueke penalty in the last minute of normal time after an extensive VAR review. Palace all of a sudden look a little bit vulnerable. Roy Hodgson was supposed to be the steady hand, but no wins in 8 means they are wobbling. It's finished. Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 1. Here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, I think Palace very unfortunate to come away from here without any points whatsoever. Elise was arguably the most consistent player and the best player on the pitch, but Chelsea did create maybe 3 or 4 good chances. They missed them, but eventually got that penalty that was the difference between the sides.
Okay, time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes, so if you've got a plan, we've got a van.
Time to pick your player of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Who are you going to go for?
Well, for me, it's got to be Elise. He's been on the losing side tonight, but he was the one player that offered the challenge from first minute to last minute, and he was the one that looked as though he might get something out the game for Crystal Palace. I was very impressed with him tonight.
That was our man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. From the best lineup in the UK, Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs.
Continues over on TalkSport 2. TalkSport, the live commentary of the game at Goodison Park. Everton 1, Manchester City 1. Wolves have beaten Brentford 4-1. They're in injury time there, and Chelsea victorious against Crystal Palace here. If you want to have your say on any of the night's footballing action, the sports bar will be open for business at 10 o'clock tonight. Jason Cundy and Neil Razor Ruddock. Get your calls in 03717 223344. that's a number to call to have your say on national radio. Coming up next here on TalkSport 2, live darts for you. Ali Pali, the World Darts Championship continues. Let's head straight over to our commentary team for the final match of the night. Reigning champion Michael Smith taking on Madars Ramza. Your commentary team are Chris Mason alongside Paul Nicholson.
Thank you, Sam. Great result tonight for Chelsea, winning 2-1 at Stamford Bridge, and great results tonight for Luke Littler and Michael Van Gerwen. But on this night of prodigies here at Alexandra Palace, we've seen a 16-year-old boy win against Canada's best. Van Gerwen has dished out a bagel to fellow Dutchman Richard Veenstra, and now we've got a 1-1 scoreline in the very first set of this contest between the world number 1 Michael Smith and Madars Razma, the best player from Latvia. So far today, Mace, we've had 3 English players go through to the last 16 this afternoon, another one tonight, and the first Dutch person through to the last 16 in Van Gerwen. Do you think it's going to be an Englishman going through to the last 16 in this one, or will it be the first visit of a Latvian to the last 16?
Well, when you break down their seasonal numbers and tournament numbers going into this match, it's hard to see past Michael Smith. And there was a little moment in leg 1, Razma took out the leg in 18 darts and almost celebrated like he just won the match. And Michael Smith gave him an old-fashioned look and a bit of a stare down. And his response, another 180 and a 14-dart hold of his own. 1-1.
One thing you will be thinking is, you've never played best of 7 sets here. I've played best of 13 and lots of best of 7 sets. Let's see who's celebrating in a few sets' time. This is the first set of the contest. Michael Smith on 176. Razma 205, which is now reduced to 66. Thanks to that really nice 139. Smith's got to get himself into the finishing range here, which he's definitely going to do with that one. 168.
Even though it's a long match, I got a feeling that this opening set is massive.
It could be.
More so for Razma.
He's got 66 and goes for the treble 10, gets a single. Up top for the single 20 for 1 dart at double 18, his favourite double on the board. And he's celebrating again. Michael Smith is going to have to get used to this. He didn't like that for 2-1 down, but this could be a gritty night for Bully Boy.
Yeah, it's got a feeling about it, this one. Not quite sure why, but Razma's really pumped up for this one. And again, Michael just laughs at him when he celebrates winning a leg in 18 darts.
Yeah, this is what he's like when he gets into a game that means an awful lot to him. He's not shy in showing how he feels. He is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best player that Latvia have ever produced. And he's the first Latvian to ever make it to this stage, which is a big deal for him.
He also did that remarkable thing on a weekend, 9-dart on a Saturday and 9-dart on a Sunday, and done it 2 different ways, didn't he?
There you go. He is multi-talented, and he's one of the best players in the world at using the treble 19, and he's just hit 3 of them to lead himself on 272. Yeah, he's got Bully Boy in a bit of trouble here in set number 1.
Yeah, sometimes he will just play predominantly on the 19s, won't he? He's absolutely mustard down there.
And if you think that he's doing that because he's short, think again. He is well above 6 feet, probably closer to 6'6". He is very tall, very strong, very wiry. For me, he'd make a great decathlete.
Yeah, good shout. He's down to 167, leading 2-1 in this opening set. Michael Smith only a ton, so he's back on 187. Razma has 6 darts if he needs them to get rid of 167 and win the opening set.
If you offered him a 131 here to lead double 18, he'd have your hand off. 167 left for Razma. He's not going to take it out. Even if he got the 60 with the first start, he wouldn't have gone for it. He's going to have to settle for a trebleless visit there and only 60 to leave 107. And Smith could jump all over this, even though he's not on a finish.
Yeah, he's left himself vulnerable with a troubleless visit, but that's exactly what Michael Smith's done, and he's left himself back on 130. 19 leaves 88, trouble 20, double 14. So Bully Boy will be back at 130.
And that was the shot that saw Michael Van Gerwen victorious against Richard Veenstra, the highest finish of that match, with 2 treble 20s and double 5. What Smith would give for that right now, he's not going to get it, but it's still on. Small.
Hello guys. Yeah, Chelsea do it again. this is a wonderful win for Chelsea Football Club, and this is a wonderful win. Guys, this is a performance that I believe all Chelsea fans will love, because Chelsea winning this game is a big difficult game, because we know Crystal Palace is a massive team. It's a team that always give big headache to most top Premier League team. And guys, Chelsea win the game in 10 minutes, and we need that one goal that can give us the win, and that is what we have. And guys, whether we win the game with 3 goals or 4 goals or 5 goals, it's still 3 points. But you know what? Congratulations for the players, because the Chelsea team today that start the Premier League match is the youngest Premier League team for so long time. Guys, I believe that these young players, they just need a little bit of time to blend together, to become one, and to understand each other very well. And the moment they have that understanding, I believe that Chelsea will be one of the teams that no Premier League team wants to challenge, and no Premier League team wants to go against. So guys, congratulations once again to Chelsea team, and congratulations to the Chelsea board, and congratulations to Mauricio Pochettino. Mauricio Pochettino always said that, yeah, he would take a lot of time to make it happen, and here he goes. He have this second win in 3 match. So guys, I think it's not a bad result, because I watched the game against Wolves. It's not that Chelsea is a bad team, that Chelsea did not have the game in their hands. Yeah, we have a lot of hardship with the game, a lot of hardship trying to score, trying to make it to a good. We need a good finisher, guys. Despite hardship, a lot of players of Chelsea, I think, because they are so young, so they are so greedy with the ball. They don't want to pass when they're supposed to pass, because everyone wants to have a goal in his name. But guys, all they just have to know is that it's not who scored the goal, it's about the team winning. So pass the ball in the right time, so that your teammates can have the goal can score the goal. So it's not just about Sterling score or Okuku score. It's about the team. I think they have to start working as a team. They have to start working as a team, believe in one another. If they have that belief towards each other, I believe that this Chelsea team that we all see in the last 2 matches, guys, against Wolves, I see Chelsea team creating a lot of chance, but they don't have a good finisher. Also today, Chelsea can win this game like 4-1, but still, sorry guys, but still Chelsea could win the game with more goals, but because they fail to pass the ball, and they fail to finish the game so easy. Guys, Chelsea have clear chance to score more goals, but they fail to use this chance to score. So I believe that if the players start working as one, start putting their heads together to work as one, I believe that there is a lot of things that need to go well for this Chelsea team. And I believe that the players, they have a lot to offer. So, but they just have to believe in one another. So guys, this is all for now. Very soon I will bring you the match review. So just stay tuned to the news as we bring you more about this Chelsea team.
Or listen to TalkSport 2 for even more live sport. TalkSport has so much sport, we're running out of radio to play it. In fact, we've got enough rugby, cricket, horse racing, boxing, motor racing and golf for an entire other radio station.
And the thrilling games continue.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air. TalkSport 2, because sport never stops.
There ain't no stopping them now.
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport
Sport radio that hits you for 6. Talk Sport 2.
Ball into a ball and he's ball him. He's dragged it back onto the stumps.
Hard tackling live. Super League action.
Strong and hard and made of steel.
Live commentary of the UEFA Champions League.
Champions of Europe again.
Live Aviva Premiership Rugby.
They must surely score.
Golf coverage that's perfectly pitched.
We're not allowed to cry on radio. We're supposed to be tough.
Serving up live ATP Master Series tennis.
And Andy Murray, with his head in his hands, goes to congratulate Novak Djokovic.
I'm so happy. Talk Sport 2. Live international football.
What a goal!
Get in the ring. Go the distance. Talk Sport 2.
And Fury's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it.
Bowl it.
Pass it. Hot it. Hot it. Or catch it. You'll find it right here on Talk Sport 2.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air.
Can they make it two?
Talk Sport 2, because sport never stops.
We're sorry, this commentary is not available in your country. Please visit talksport.com/commentaries to hear an alternative stream or listen to TalkSport 2 for even more live sport.
Talk Sport has so much sport, we're running out of radio to play it.
In fact, we've got enough rugby, cricket, horse racing, boxing, motor racing and golf for an entire other radio station.
And the thrilling games continue.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air. Talk Sport 2, because sport never stops.
There ain't no stopping them now.
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport radio that hits you for 6. Talk Sport 2.
Ball into a ball and he's ball him. He's dragged it back onto the stumps.
Hard tackling live. Super League action.
Strong and hard and made of steel.
Live commentary of the UEFA Champions League.
Champions of Europe again.
Live Aviva Premiership Rugby.
They must surely score.
Golf coverage that's perfectly pitched.
We're not allowed to cry on radio. We're supposed to be tough.
Serving up live ATP Master Series tennis.
And Andy Murray, with his head in his hands, goes to congratulate Novak Djokovic.
I'm so happy. Talk Sport 2. Live international football.
What a goal!
Get in the ring. Go the distance. Talk Sport 2.
And Fury's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it.
Bowl it.
Pass it. Hot it. Hot it. Or catch it. You'll find it right here on Talk Sport 2.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air.
Can they make it two?
Talk Sport 2, because sport never stops.
We're sorry, this commentary is not available in your country. Please visit talksport.com/commentaries to hear an alternative stream or listen to TalkSport 2 for even more live sport.
Talk Sport has so much sport, we're running out of radio to play it.
In fact, we've got enough rugby, cricket, horse racing, boxing, motor racing and golf for an entire other radio station.
And the thrilling games continue.
The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air. Talk Sport 2, because
his choice was the ball, but he's drastically short of it. Might be a happy accident now getting the small 17, which takes him to 73. 110 for Michael Smith here. Big 20, tries to follow up with a 60 and does well and hits double 15. Exactly the counter punch he needed to start set 2 the way he wanted. 1 set to 0 to Razma, but Bully Boy takes the first leg of set 2.
And he probably hits that shot more than most on the double 15 because he's actually a fan of double 15. Favourite doubles, double 10, of course, next door.
22. Earlier in the day we saw checkouts of 90 by Scott Williams twice in the last set against Martin Schindler. They were key, so double 15 has had a story to tell today. Smith is starting to go up a gear here incrementally. Starts with a 140 and Razma is starting to waver already.
What's that? 22 followed by 27. Michael Smith with a ton down to 2-6-1. Razma 4-5-2. Does lead by 1 set to 0, but trails by 1 leg to 0 in set 2, and he's starting to get a bit animated.
This game shouldn't really have any surprises for Michael Smith. He's played Razma twice and won twice. he knows that when you play this Latvian player, your rhythm is going to go out the window. That's going to be a struggle for Michael tonight. He won't want to put in the same sort of performance as a Littler or Van Gerwen. He'll just want to get through because he's got an erratic rhythm player here, and the amount of times that Michael Smith is going to the table for a glass of water, or indeed just a micro sip of it, just to burn time, it's happening almost every visit at the minute.
Yeah, and it's not that Razma's an actual slow thrower. He will just pause momentarily or stop and take a step back, and that really does upset your rhythm. But credit to Michael Smith, he's dealing with it well here.
Yeah, Razma with a 140 there. His fourth of the contest to take him to 188. Smith already in 2-dart zone of 64. 2 single 16s for double. Can't believe my eyes. Someone who spends 95% of their time on tops as a primary double has on purpose left double 16 there, miss.
Yeah, strange tactic.
140.
He is 3 for 4 on his doubles.
32.
Good pressure from Razma. He's waiting on 48 if he gets a go. And he may well get a go.
24.
Because Michael Smith has missed 16s, missed 8s and missed 4s.
What was he doing leaving double 16 in the first place? That's a change of tactic after a 15-year career. Razma's got 48, he can do anything from here. He could go 12 double 18. But he's decided to go for the double 16 shot after the single as well. But he hits it. And that will irk Michael Smith, because it's now 1-1 in set 2. First set, Razma. And the best way for Michael Smith to put that right is to start heavily, which he does with another 140.
4 140s, 8 scores between a ton and 139, and he's hit the only 2 180s so far in the match, up until this point here. Oh no. Treble 20 first start, the commentator's curse is in. Only 98 in the end.
And Michael Smith in his 9th last 32 match at Alexandra Palace since 2014's championship. That's not a bad hit rate in 10 years. And every time he's played at this stage of the tournament, it has gone a minimum of 6 sets. So expect Razma to get 2 sets at least. But will Smith get the 4? That is the question. Razma not at the races here in leg number 3, and only averaging 84 in this set. Smith 2-2-1, trebleless on darts 1, 2 and 3, all around the board with the 20s, 19s and 18s. But he has got himself a canny lead of 199 here.
Yeah, nothing that Razma can do from 3-6-3 to leave a finish. So Michael Smith had that insurance. Treble 20. Does go for the 18s.
96.
I'm amazed he just didn't stay there to either a 140 or a 124.
Yeah, me too. He's really...
Is he not thinking straight? Is that what it is? Or
maybe
is there a change of...
Maybe a change of game plan. And this would be so different for Michael Smith to do this. Maybe it's one of the reasons that he's changed it because of the new kit that he's using. Well, 68 works. That's treble 16 and double 10 for 2-1 in the second set. But if he's starting to do what Gary Anderson's doing at the minute by neglecting tops and going for 16s and 8s a bit more, well.
Well, we picked up on it earlier with Luke Littler's darts. Because they lay over slightly to the right, that's no good if you're playing the left side of the board, because you'll end up just masking your target area.
Maybe it's a thing that he won the World Championship on double 8 and he wants to leave it constantly, just trying to massage good memories. Well, if that's the case and he keeps hitting it, bravo, Michael. He is 2-1 up in this second set. He's being watched tonight in the VIP area by a certain Mr. Wellesby, I believe, from his favourite rugby league club.
Yeah, St Helens, isn't it? I bet Pikey was out there earlier. Stuart Pike, a huge rugby league fan as well, and a St Helens fan.
59.
275, Michael Smith against Razma, who seems to have lost a bit of a buzz about his game. Smith 80 with the first 2 and a sensible 25 with the last start to leave 170. That is a set-winning chance with Razma on 2-0-8 here. Constantly averaging around that 90 mark, and he takes another long breath here, does the Latvian.
Yeah, he's really taking any pace out of this game. Treble 20 doesn't follow it from 208. Picks off at 25 to leave 103.
275 Two treble 20s in Bull for the 5th 170 of the tournament. That's not going to go. He does find a ton, which he's not happy with, to leave 70. Razma to save the set. 103. He could flip a coin here to see where he goes. He's got so many different routes in his arsenal. That's a treble 3. He didn't want that. But he does want treble 18 for tops now to save set number 2. Dart 2. Treble 18 the target. And he misses it just low. Meaning that last dart at the treble 20, which also misses, could be a moot point. Smith has 70 points here for the set. Single 10, 20 tops. And that's more like it, Bully Boy. Average 95 in that set. And his overall 50% on the doubles. Razma leaves the stage before Michael Smith and is walking very slowly, but with his manners intact, Michael Smith is patiently waiting behind him in his very vibrant black and red shoes. We'll be back after this short break to see what happens in sets number 3 and 4. Currently Smith 1, Razma 1.
TalkSport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action, featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL. Plus, TalkSport 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. TalkSport 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. Get epic value all season with William Hill. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Sylvia's driving her grandkids. The same journey every Friday. The same age-appropriate playlist. And even though the wheels on the bus go round and round and round, Sylvia's unfazed. She knows her tyres will go round all day too. Because she got a new set at QuickFit. So no matter what happens with her car, it's not tyres driving her up the wall. Book your new tyres at quickfit.com or visit your local QuickFit centre. QuickFit. Drive away happy every time.
It's 10:53 p.m. You're at a karaoke bar. You're catching your breath. You, slayer of the microphone, just exercised. And thanks to your Samsung Galaxy Watch 6, you know you've been active for exactly 103 minutes. Sure, you didn't go to the gym, but this sweat is still sweat. Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 for extreme liveness.
As you can hear from my voice, I'm in a state of high exhilaration. Yes, I am positively beside myself. The reason that I can barely contain my enthusiasm is the IKEA winter sale. 4 weeks of incredible bargains. The inexpressible thrill of finding precisely the right thing at the right price. Sale now on IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
A magical Christmas with Lidl means picking up a Good Housekeeping Best Supermarket Wine 2023. A Portuguese Douro Reserve for just $6.99. On our award-winning French Pitbull de Pinet for $7.49. Or our Spanish Rioja Crianza for just $5.99. Now that's big on quality and always little on price. Subject to availability, selected stores GB only.
NFL Live, the New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns.
What a catch! What a throw!
Friday from 0100 GMT on TalkSport 2.
On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app, and on your smart speaker.
Exclusive coverage of the 2024 PDC World Darts Championship, live on TalkSport 2.
More action on Darts on the Radio coming your way right now as we have an equalised score via Bully Boys set 2 win here against Mados Razma. 95.05 the average in set 2. And Razma is constantly hovering high 80s around that 90 mark. And just to give you some sort of indication as to what you might get from Razma historically and even right now, when he's played in 7 previous games here at Alexandra Palace before tonight, he's averaged 89.99. He's doing pretty much exactly that in this game. It was good enough for the first set, but not for set 2, miss.
No, Michael Smith went through the gears there in set 2, averaged 95.05, still maintaining that 50% on doubles, and it was 3 15-dart legs that got it done. Interestingly, Paul, Lillard's mum and dad is out watching it, but must be past his bedtime. The boy's not there.
That's very interesting. Maybe he's already resting up for his next match because he's in the last 16. Neither of these two are yet. They are still at work. They still have stuff to do. And I've just got a quick question for you, Mace, as we get into the meat and potatoes of set number 3. There were 6 days between these guys playing their first match because they're both seeded. They went straight into the last 64. Michael Smith played on the 15th of December. It's customary for the defending champion to play on opening night. Razma played 6 days later. Is that a factor?
Yeah, could be. Though he had a fairly worry-free encounter. I just think what's happening now, Paul, is Michael Smith's worked him out.
I think maybe he's just settled into the pace of the game, and this looks promising for Smith. Only 2 180s so far in 2 sets, but this is not the early 2023 Michael Smith. He's got new kit. He has won a European Tour event this year. He has won on the floor once, but he's still getting the knack with this stuff, isn't he?
Yeah, I wasn't convinced with him throughout the year, and fairness to him, he took a lot of time out. He spent a lot of time with his family, and darts took a back seat for 12 months while he enjoyed being the Grand Slam champion and the world champion, and why not?
Let's see if he can enjoy 87 more, because now that Razma's got 114 scored there via 2 treble 19s, he is on a finish of 155, albeit with 1 dart on the floor. Smith gets the 51, misses the double 18 inside and the double 9 on the inside as well. And funnily enough, it was those 2 shots at 18s and 9s that cost him that game against Rob Cross in 2018.
Yeah, Razma not going to finish the 155, so Michael will be back.
58.
One for double 4, but even with all this new kit and everything that's happened this year, he's just got such great memories of here 12 months ago.
And he likes that shot as well. It's not all about the 170s, the 130s, the 110s. Sometimes you need a 9 checkout, and that's exactly what he got there to lead in the early stages of set number 3.
He's now won 4 of the last 5 legs, and they've all been in 15 darts.
100.
And let's remind our listeners on TalkSport 2 that Maraz Razma has never beaten Michael Smith. You might think, well, yes, they were in a sterile environment away from here. Maybe this will be different here, but Maraz Razma is in new territory. He's never been to the last 32 here before. He's never played best of 7 sets here before. He's up against it.
Yeah, and he's up against it even more right now because the average from set 1, which was a respectable 90.66, has just continued to drop off. 87.76 set 2 is hovering around the 75 mark.
And that's not going to cut it. Michael Smith can average 75 with 2 darts on a good day.
100.
He's only got a ton there. That leaves him on 271. He should start on the 19s when he comes back, no matter what Razma does here from 374. That treble 20 right now, he's allergic to it. That's why he's had to go all the way over to the treble 18 to get success there, and he does. 280 for Razma. Smith does start on the 19s, and very little success there. And even with a 25 at the end, Razma is still in this leg.
Yep, 280 finds the treble 20, follows it, doesn't like it.
Has to stay there. That's a bad play in my opinion. He's got to go for the maximum to leave 100, which is a 2-darter.
Yeah.
That was weak mentally in my opinion from Razma.
Yeah, he could have moved around. So 208, Michael Smith, single 20, runs for cover on 18s, blocks that. Oh, and only 43.
That was required 155.
The way you said that is how Michael Smith is feeling right now. He is not happy with this performance at all. He looks very down on himself because he's left 165. Razma on 155 has got 6 from here, and he's got a 60 with dart 2. He'll take 99 to leave 56 because that's a guaranteed shot when he comes back.
Yeah, should get 2 darts at a double, unless he misses a big number. Michael with a 5 does adjust. 85, so down to 80, but it was a breaker throw in leg 1. He's basically sacrificed that here in leg 2.
How was Razma on double 9? He's missed the double 18 with his first attempt, and he's outside the double 9, and his despair could be seen by Smith, a mere 3 or 4 yards away. Smith on 80 to steal this leg. He's got a small 20 and a big one. One dart at tops, it's covered, and he slams right into the dart, missing it by a good inch low.
The one thing he could do with the previous equipment was run a dart above those ones that look like blockers. These just seem to just deflect.
Double 2 for Razma with his last dart and finds it. That'll make Michael Smith feel very bitter indeed. This game, and I've used this quite a lot in some of the early matches, especially for debutants, this is quite attritional when you attribute that word to someone who is the #1 in the world and the current champion. That's not the norm.
No, we say it so often, you know, it's a term from the world of boxing. Styles make fights, and the tempo of a player's game will just look back 12 months ago to Michael Smith against Michael van Gerwen. They're both rat-tat-tat merchants, and that's why more often than not they bring the best out of each other.
Just to prove your point, Matas Razma in round number 2 beat Mike De Decker, who is synonymous with hitting maximums. Mike was never comfortable in that match, and this Mike is also very uncomfortable with it being 1 set all and 1 leg all in the 3rd set.
We're in leg 12 of this contest. 2 180s for Michael Smith. That's well below the norm.
12th leg of Van Gerwen against Veenstra, and it was almost finished. That's how good Van Gerwen was, averaging over 101, and a statement has been sent to the rest of the field. Van Gerwen looked very good, and the person that beat him in last year's final, that's Michael Smith at the Oki now with a 1-2-1. That gets him in touch with Razma. In fact, 5 points ahead on 2-2-3. Razma's got to be smart here from 228. But he's the 19s after the small 20 is found, and he misses the 19s with dart 2. Recovers well. Gets a 57 with his last dart to set up a 1-4-4 checkout for 2-1.
Michael, 2-2-3, treble 20, can't follow it. Does get a 1-3-7, so he's on a better finish than Razma, that's for sure. He's down to 86. Razma can't finish, needed 2 treble 20s. Does get a treble 19. 67 left, I do believe.
67 it is. That's why he went for the 17s. Got the single to leave 50. Michael will take the 50 with the last dart if he can get a shot at it, but he's got a shot double 16. Now it's double 8 for 86 out. And that corner of the board robs him again. 16 left for Smith, and Razma has got options from 50 to take the lead in set 3.
Yeah, that side of the board certainly not a friend of Michael Smith's right now. I think he's going to have to change tact. Well, it's 18 for double 16, and well, you can hear the crowd, they're getting a little bit impatient with him. Certainly no Michael Smith will be.
The more he pauses, the more the crowd will see it. The more they will get involved, and the more he will be put off. Double 8 for Smith. It won him the world title on January the 3rd, 2023, and it's won him the 3rd leg of the 3rd set. That is a bit of a freebie, you'd have to say. He didn't really deserve that leg, and he doesn't even feel that happy about taking leg 3 for a 2-1 lead, because he's only averaging